Welcome to the Hot Comics Plopcast number 19.
All right.
Lucky number 19.
Woo!
That's exciting. That's like,
I like it.
I like it.
I like it.
And today we are joined with Captain Kirk and T-Bone and I. Sadly,
and Amy Dallin.
Sadly, Amy Dallin.
Poor Amy.
She was having some troubles.
Amy was supposed to be in today.
What happened to Amy? What happened?
Well,
Okay,
yeah.
so apparently we've been waiting and waiting, and she was really sweet and kept us up to date with what was going on and why she was running late. Mm-hmm. Guess she had a photo shoot earlier today.
Yeah, some shoot for, I assume, her show of something.
And
For Geek and Sundry.
Yeah.
And
I guess
something went terribly wrong.
Yeah. Basically, she is now permanently scarred and is always going to be wearing makeup.
I know.
Can you show the picture that you have?
I would be pissed if somebody did that to me. She sent me a picture of her with like half of this face paint still on, the other half of her face like red.
I don't want to give anything away because God only knows when their episode will come out.
Right, yeah. I don't want to say what it was.
It's a character that she was dressed up as, and half the makeup is still on, and it's the bandito part of that character's makeup, and she can't get it off. And I actually texted a friend of mine who is a hardcore awesome makeup artist.
Yeah.
And apparently the stuff that they used on Amy
is like
is something so...
It's like body paint makeup.
It's body paint, but then there also needs to be a pre-pep on the skin before you put this stuff on.
Yeah, probably not.
And she said that if it's still taking like 3-4 hours to get off, like they didn't pre-prep her at all.
Yeah. Which sucks.
Yeah,
but
well, from the photo she sent, it looks like she's been rubbing her face.
I know. She looks so sad. She looks so sad. I was like, just call it a night, Amy. So... Here's to you, Amy. Cheers.
Amy, we love you.
Amy.
Sorry you're not here. We'll do it again next time.
Yeah, I made brownies and everything.
Well, now she feels bad.
Brownies.
Yeah, well, it's fine. We'll eat them.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, what are we going to talk about today? What's coming up?
Well, you tell us. You're in charge of all the tabs, T-Bone.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, we have the tabs loaded.
We had this big old tab discussion.
We're going to talk about Captain America.
Yes.
We're going to give our reactions to The Winter Soldier, how we felt.
Woohoo.
We're all pretty excited about it. That was a great movie.
So good.
We're going to talk about the Quicksilver fiasco and the X-Men.
Oh, Carl's Jr.
Yeah,
nightmare.
the Carl's Jr. commercial. We're going to talk about Ninja Turtles and the new noses. We're going to talk about some amazing Spider-Man stuff.
Ugh.
Leprechauns will make an appearance.
Leprechauns.
We're going to talk about Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
Yeah. We went to a screening of Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, Paul Verhoeven showed up.
You're ruining it. You're spoiling it. Oh, we were going to tell them
Well, you got to tell them now so they'll stick around for that.
Oh, yeah.
And what else do we have? Some comics. We're going to talk about a bunch of comic books. Oh, we're also, before that, we're going to talk about Fox Studios versus Warner Brothers versus Sony and Marvel.
The mega movie franchise.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the future of comic book movie franchises. Where is it going? Our predictions. It's going to happen. It'll be an exciting episode today.
How will it affect your life? How it ruin
Along
your life?
with this pile of comic books.
Yeah. Also, me talking some comics today.
And we're going to fit all that in 1 hour.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
All right.
All right, we're back. So, let's start us off. Let's get our tabs going.
All right, first up.
Marvel's Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
It fucking ruled.
So
Next subject.
Good.
Done.
End.
Yeah, so how'd you guys feel? The movie came out this weekend. It is now Wednesday? Thursday? Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Today is Thursday while we're doing this.
Yes, Thursday.
Okay.
So it's been a week.
Yeah. Because we saw it last Thursday. We saw it at a little screening thing. Not screening.
Thing.
No, it wasn't a screening.
We actually saw it at the ArcLight. The best goddamn surround sound I could have.
No, that's what we did. Yeah,
we actually went to the movie theater, and on a bathroom break, I was running because I was missing a scene, and I ran right past Kirk, who happened to be at the same theater.
Funny, I didn't realize that you were in the theater. I'm like, oh, cool, yeah, dude, you're really gonna like it. You're like, yeah, I know, I really am gonna like it. I'm like, okay, why are you in a rush? Because it's on right now.
Yeah,
I'm like,
okay, go.
Okay.
Because I'm missing scenes while I talk to you. Shut up, Kirk.
Gotta go.
Hey, blame your bladder, dude, not me.
I know, right?
I know. I need to sit on the end more often.
I know. Well, Captain America, the Winter Soldier, really was just fantastic, man. And it's just there's so many things to say about it. I don't even know where to start. Like, I'll start with this.
We don't have to say everything because we did just put out a video about it.
Well,
so.
yeah.
But this is a supplemental.
Yeah, this is a supplemental. I will say. Excited.
And we have a second video.
Let's talk about it. I'm not ready.
And we might have a second video.
Well, we have a second video. It's like a little more in depth for people who want to get a little more,
more
hairy. But anyways, So, yeah, the Winter Soldier
was very surprising.
So good. And that dude, Sebastian Stan, like, is so fine. Like, it's crazy. Like, his hair and the thing.
I will take your word for
and
that.
All that. It's working for me in a lot of ways as a lady. And I'm excited about it.
Well, did you care about Bucky this much in the first movie?
No.
Okay.
No, I was like, ah,
so you only like him when he went bad, huh?
Yeah.
19 likes the bad boys.
I know, right? I know. And look at T-Bone.
I thought this was really interesting, how they did the CGI on the arm. See those little dots?
Yeah, so they didn't put the elbow in there so he could like move his actual elbow.
Cool.
Yeah, and then they CGI.
The rest of the arm was actual, real practical effects.
And you know, that's how you do it.
CGI in. Yes, that's how you do it.
That's how you do it, guys. It's like, that looks great. Like, you have the practical, so it's like lit right.
I think they're doing that more often now. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, although they did have that awkward old lady makeup in there. That was better than the Prometheus old man makeup by leaps and bounds, but still was awkward because it was practical, I think, mixed with some CG stuff.
I don't know. That didn't bother me as much as it
that
bothered
mouth
you.
creeped me out the whole time. Like, it just creeped me out. It was like the uncanny valley.
Mouth.
Well, the old lady's mouth, it was like they were doing something with her mouth digitally. And
let's
it just
preface by saying this is a personal problem, and most people will probably not.
Well,
it ruined the entire movie.
It ruined the entire movie.
You know what? This is a good. Okay, so you had a problem with the old lady makeup. This is a good thing to bring up. A good time to bring this up. There's two types of criticism, I think. Legitimate criticism and personal problems. You can still bring up personal problems.
Shallow criticism. This is a shallow criticism.
It's a personal problem because
no, it looks fucking weird.
I didn't think it looked bad. I didn't notice it.
Give
the fact that you brought it up.
Give it 3 years, and you'll think it's fucking weird. You're gonna be like, "What the fuck is wrong with her mouth?"
I think the Prometheus makeup looked
I
bad.
think it's great that she's like, "No, give it 3 years, and we'll come back to this subject, and you're gonna fucking agree."
You're gonna be like, "That mouth is weird." I don't know. It's they just can't get mouths right.
Well,
like,
no.
You saw it in Tron.
I actually bought that she was a real old lady at first for a minute. I was like, wait, but then I was like, something is going on.
Well, I just wish they would have just gotten an old lady. You don't need to get that actress and put her in an old lady.
Let's start this whole thing off with nitpicking.
Well,
what can we say that's great about this movie?
Everything.
One of the best action films I've seen in the last 5 years. As far as espionage films go, I'll put it up right there with French Connection. Hell yeah. Which was like an old movie that was like more of a police procedural.
Yeah.
But also it had action like from, not Bullet. What was the movie with De Niro? But there was like really great action and awesome car chases, and you were talking about the choreographed like mega action sequences that were just so perfect, and even everything from like to the score of the movie.
Oh yeah, I love the Winter Soldier's theme. That little like.
I loved it.
Soundtrack.
There were times when I'm watching this film where I got taken out of the notion that I was watching a comic book movie.
Yeah.
Didn't feel like, oh, that's right, I forgot.
Yes.
I'm watching a comic book film.
Right.
Like, I almost feel like there's certain scenes they had to put in, like the entire scene with Zola.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the most powerful things cinema can do is make you believe that this fantasy is really happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And a lot of the times, some of these comic book movies don't do that for me, but you're right. This one,
I almost feel like
I went along with it.
Yeah, like I feel like there were elements they had to put in to go, by the way, dude, don't forget, we took this from a comic book.
Yeah.
Like, it was just...
Yeah. And and the thing is, it's like, awesome. It's such a, apparently it's a really hard line to, like, it's really hard to do that because you see a lot of comic book movies and they're trying to make it more realistic, but then they end up just like crapping all over the fun of being a superhero, whereas this kept the fun of being a superhero while also bringing in real world stuff.
Act.
Yeah, and they did a really fantastic job.
I think Marvel overall does a great job with that balancing act.
Oh man, and I loved Nick Fury's scene where he's in the car and he's just slippery as a fucking eel.
That scene was great.
I love the fact that like in our upcoming video we're kind of talking about chaos versus order. And how, S.H.I.E.L.D. is kind of like a control, like, order sort of situation. Mm-hmm. But then you have Nick Fury, who's controlling it, who's chaotic as fuck, because you cannot control that dude, And it's kind of like that whole yin-yang thing, where it's like, there's always a little spot of the darkness and the lightness, And, like, that's what Nick Fury
I know we're
is.
not doing hardcore spoilers, but there are some pretty cool Nick Fury moments where you as a fan go, oh, you don't want Nick Fury doing that.
Yeah.
Don't let Nick Fury go do that, because then you're screwed.
Are we not doing spoilers? Because I figure at this point everyone's seen it twice by now.
We can do spoilers.
We can do spoilers?
Spoilers.
Spoilers on now.
Spoilers. Spoilers.
So, very cool part when Nick Fury is not dead.
Yeah.
And they let him, he goes off the radar. Mm-hmm. And he kind of just goes, you know what, screw it, I'm going to do my own thing. Mm-hmm. You were like, you don't want Nick Fury off the radar.
No.
You don't want him in the shadows doing his thing.
No.
Which now just explodes the possibilities of all the other Marvel films that could happen.
And I feel like I really am enjoying what they're doing with Black Widow's character. I think that she had a lot of fun stuff with her character this time around. They're doing a really great job developing her, and her hair was much better this time. Because usually
we brought up something about her character. Is like you were saying, I wish they had put more about in her origin story in there. I was like, no, I'm glad they didn't put anything about their origin story in there.
I don't want her
Plus,
origin
they could
story.
Save that for another movie, and we're tired of origin stories.
I don't want an origin story, but I do want them to bring up the fact that she's not just a person. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know in this universe specifically whether she's just a person who's badass or whether she is somehow.
Well, maybe they're trying to keep that ambiguous.
Well,
just
she's
for
enhanced,
the time being.
right?
Maybe, yeah. Because well, in the comics, she's enhanced.
I was under the impression that she's just like Captain America. She got the serum, some kind of the serum.
She got a weird, fucked up Soviet situation version of it, yeah. But she was also like grown up through this whole system. Like she was like as a child, she was like. Trained, you know.
But I think at this point they've set her up enough that they could do her own movie in a couple of years if they wanted to.
Oh yeah. And I mean,
absolutely.
And
I mean,
they keep talking about your mysterious past, your dark past. You know.
Yeah. The comic book's great.
Yeah.
I mean, kudos to Marvel for doing a female-centric Black Widow-fronted comic book. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So I definitely think with what she's done with that character, to be in the background just enough, but to also steal scenes that she has as a Black Widow.
Yeah. Well, it's like
you could easily do that movie.
I love that. In the beginning scene where they're on the ship and he's like, "You compromised the mission," and then she's like, "No, I didn't," and then that thing blows up, and then he's like, she's like, "That's on me." And
that
he's
one's
like,
on me.
And he's like, "Yeah, it is." And he says to her specifically with that statement that I don't trust you, and she's like. So she is struggling with the fact that he doesn't trust her, but at the same time she is a spy. So why would anyone trust you? So I like that tension of her where she's like, I'm a spy, I'm supposed to keep secrets, but I still want people to trust me.
And I think that's also another cool part because that ties right in with the fact that when you're doing this Captain America film, everyone was expecting the man out of time story.
Yes.
And I did like they talked about how does Captain America Steve Rogers relate to anybody? And he kind of buries himself in the work. Yeah. Like he needs to work. And then he meets Falcon.
Yes.
Which they did kick-ass job with Falcon.
So good.
But I like that Falcon and he have that military background. That's how they relate with each other.
Yeah. What is Falcon like in the comics? Does he have feathered wings?
He's got feathered wings. He's got spandex.
Okay. Yeah. And he talks to birds. And he can see from birds.
Yeah.
I don't know how he got his powers, but apparently he can talk to birds and look through their eyeballs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad they didn't do that part.
Yeah. Well,
I like this version of Falcon.
Yeah.
And then you look at, even though he doesn't trust Nick Fury is definitely that person where, because of their shared experiences, that's how they relate.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't trust Black Widow, but they earn each other's trust through their shared experiences, they become friends. And so really what happens is Steve Rogers discovers that he really does have friends in this life that he can relate to, despite the fact that it's all spies, espionage, being heroes, military, seeing warfare.
Well,
I like that idea.
It's really interesting too because you have the first Captain America film, which is set, back in the World War II, which isn't quite as relatable to the audience, right? And then you also have the Avengers, where essentially Tony Stark just makes him look like an ass the whole time. It's like he kind of makes him look like a dork the whole time. You said that earlier.
You kind of verbally bitch slaps him around a little
bit.
And
so it makes you not like him because everybody likes Tony Stark so much. Robert Downey Jr. does such a good job that if he thinks you're an asshat, well then I think you're an asshat. Yeah. But I liked in this movie where they really made him cool and just showed you what he was about, and I love the fact that. When Black Widow makes a comment where she's like, "Oh, do you want to play a game?" and then tries to tell him that it's a reference, and he's like, "I know what the fucking reference is." Shut up. And it really says though that he has been doing his homework and that he does belong now.
Right.
He feels like he belongs now.
He's earned it.
Yeah, he's earned it, and
totally
it's it was so nice to just see him because you think Captain America, oh, that's fucking stupid, but it's you forget that he's a soldier and that he's a badass, and that he's takes people out.
The best way they opened up that film was him doing Black Ops work.
Yes, it was
that scene on the boat was,
it was
so great.
Good.
That just wide running shot.
And I also love the fact that you see these guys totally respect him. The one time somebody has his back, he was like, "Hey, thanks for that." And he goes, "Oh yeah, because I totally could tell that you couldn't handle it without me."
Yeah, you're so helpless. Yeah,
that was a good line. There were a lot of good little funny lines too. The whole movie was well balanced.
Yeah.
But I do want to talk about the theme for a second because that's what really made this movie so exciting for me. Is that I appreciate, or I think we appreciate movies that are about something.
Yes. Well, it's like Thor was more entertainment. You know, like it didn't have a message that's like you learn something from and you know.
Right.
Whereas this wasn't about Captain America and showing him off. It was about.
Yeah, it wasn't just about being cool. And that's the problem I have with a lot of some movies like, I don't know, Transformers. Okay, I'll call it Transformers. It just seems like it's about being cool. And a lot of other movies are just about being cool. Yeah. And that's not enough of a big idea for me. But this whole movie was like an allegory for current real-world problems, and I thought that was so brilliant to do. Yeah. In Captain America, where so many people are going to see this movie, and then they never were interested in this subject matter before, and they're going to look into it, and they're going to get into politics.
Well,
because they're going to realize, oh, this stuff I didn't know about it before. We got to do something about this.
Well, this really helped me to respect Captain America a lot more because I'm not really a huge like Captain America person right off the bat because. To me, he always signaled like he was a puppet of the government, you know, in my head, and like he was a symbol of them. But then I, like watching this movie, I really came to realize that he's not a symbol of the government. He's a symbol of the people. You know, and things like Civil War, too, also illustrate that. Like that whole...
like, well, he went against the government in Civil War.
Yeah. In the Civil War comic books... Well, he's a huge player in Civil War. It's a huge Marvel event from like, I don't know, over 5 years ago. I don't know, it's been a while.
Maybe 5 years.
I don't know, maybe. It was a while ago. And
when did they retcon Spider-Man and everyone hated it?
Well, I think that was going on. Okay.
Anyways,
go ahead. So, So in the Civil War thing, you have the Mutant Registration Act that kind of was reintroduced, and Tony Stark backs it, and he's like, yeah, you know, let's just all come out. But the thing is like he's already come out. You know, so it's like, so it doesn't.
It's really easy for the guy with the giant fucking tower with all the money to be like, I'm kind of cool with this.
Yeah. And then you have Captain America on the other side saying that you can't do that. You can't force people to come out when it's going to like ruin their lives, like mutants and stuff like that, because there's a huge anti-mutant
it was like a superhero registration.
Sentiment.
It was like the mutant registration taken to the next level.
Yeah. And then Spider-Man's with like Tony Stark. I don't know. It was a whole big thing. But yeah, I just...
Well, that makes a good point that, you know, comic books are about social and political issues sometimes. And
absolutely.
The best comic book stories are about current social issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like even like, you know, even Sex Criminals in a way is about, you know, current social issues of like us not being able to talk about sex, you know.
Just putting it there in the open
and just talking about it like a normal like you talk about it to your friends, but it's like, but it's like like our whole society, our America especially is all fucked up.
By the way,
with
I'm
sex.
really excited. I did get a chance to hand off Sex Criminals to somebody this week.
Oh yeah.
Like, I want to get back into comic books again. And I went, here you go.
Check it out.
Sex Criminals.
Yeah.
So I was really excited for that.
Man, I just this movie really
and they nailed Winter Soldier.
Oh, he looked like perfect. Like
I loved how they did everything about the cybernetic arm. Was so cool.
Yeah,
God, they nailed this movie.
They really did.
Yeah, and I'm excited to find out that the directing team, the two brothers, are going to be. They had signed them to do the third Captain America even before this was released.
Yeah.
So I guess Marvel internally liked it so much that they were.
Well,
hire these guys again,
the guys
which is great.
That also direct a Community.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Do you think it's fair to say? I mean, this is only their second movie. They had made You, Me, and Dupree. No, it was their second movie.
No. They didn't direct that. They produced that.
I looked it up on IMDb.
I looked it up on IMDb, and you're looking at the producer credits. It's the directing
credits. Are you
credits.
denying my IMDb searching ability?
Maybe.
Because you know we have a computer
you know what?
right in front of us.
I have IMDb app on my phone.
All right. Well, you guys are trying to figure that out.
Whoever gets there first is right.
Come
on, Internet.
Okay.
What was their names? Direct.
Joe Russo.
Here we go. It's a race. T-Bone is now tagging
filmography.
19 is now
director.
on the site.
Director.
Coming in really close, we have Joe Russo. Let's see. Full bio.
I don't see anything.
No.
Oh no, they did. Yeah, maybe.
Director known for Captain America: Winter Soldier and You, Me, and Dupree, 2006.
Oh, I thought they just produced that. I take it back. I'm sorry. You're right.
The winner is?
And the winner is T-Bone.
T-Bone, you win. You're right.
Thank you. I'm not going to brag and rub it in your face.
Well, you know, I did look, and I didn't see it on there
gentleman.
Before. You're such a gentleman.
Anyway, what were we even bringing this up for? I think that it's fair to say that these guys could become the next...
Because they already got signed on to do Cap 3.
Right.
Yeah.
I was saying that I think it's fair. They did such a good job and maybe I'm jumping the ship, but I think they could become the next Joss Whedon level directors.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, and more power to them.
Because we need more directors like that.
Yeah.
Well,
we need more directors who understand the material and
respect it.
Respect it. You know, respect it is a big thing because I think a lot of people don't.
Well, they handle the stuff that is supposed to be cool, but it's not just about being cool.
Right.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. And
because otherwise it doesn't matter. At least to me.
Yeah.
If it's just about cool, it doesn't matter.
No, I'm so tired of cool.
There's enough cool stuff in the world, you know?
Yeah,
At this point, 2014, like...
I know, especially that I, Frankenstein. You can't get cooler than that.
I know, right?
Hey, that movie took itself really seriously. Because...
Fuck, man. Everything takes itself so seriously. It's like, and this movie didn't take itself so seriously all the time. You know, there was so many fun little moments in it. And, like, I love the fact that, like, Black Widow's always talking to him about a girl that he could date throughout the entire movie.
How fun was that?
Like, what a great little character moment, thread, interaction, deal. Like,
and I like the fact that the movie wasn't afraid to use the mad Nazi scientist trope.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Oh, no, that this still works. Great,
yeah,
cool.
No,
well, I want to go back and watch the first one again because I only saw it once. And it's pretty rusty in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, the first one's good. Like, I enjoyed the first one. But again, it's just exposition, you know? It's just setting everything up. And, you know, it's just so nice to just have them have fun. You know? And you know the characters, and you get. And it's just...
I think if they do a new superhero team at this point, they should just skip the origin story. We can find out in the comics if we really want to. Yeah, just go to them doing
go to Wikipedia.
Stuff,
you know, just like seriously.
Yeah.
Well, especially for big name people. I mean, like.
And they only really, suggested the origin of Winter Soldier.
I hate to disagree with you guys, but I honestly feel like no matter what, they're still going to have to do an origin story on some level, even if the whole movie isn't the origin story. You know, like just doing the whole like flashback thing, like the old Spider-Man movies did in the credits.
They did that with Winter Soldier, though. They handled it just as perfectly. It was as brief as they possibly could make it. Yeah. They just gave you the idea that they were freezing him.
Except, you know, and then you see things like the new Amazing Spider-Man, where it's like half the fucking movie is still, you know, and you're just like, you don't need the whole half the movie. You don't need half the movie. You could just do it in like a flashback or a 10-minute little
those Sam Raimi films, how they did it during the opening credits.
Yeah.
To fill you in on what was going on from the last few movies. I was like, oh, that's genius.
I know.
Did you just bring up the Amazing Spider-Man? Because that could be a transition.
Well, I did. Let's talk about the Amazing Spider-Man.
Okay.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So,
what do we got? Ah!
Let's talk about our feelings on the Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, God.
Somehow something got stuck in my throat after seeing that.
I don't like
There's
it.
some of this mucus on his face.
Do not want.
So this is the Green Goblin, I'm guessing?
Are you sure? I thought it was the new Quicksilver.
It's Sony's Quicksilver.
I want to see him in a Hardee's commercial.
I know. See, that's disgusting.
Oh, we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah. Oh, I love those chapped lips, too. It's like, oh.
No, actually, I would believe that he eats Hardee's every day.
So, he is a troll-like goblin.
Yeah, I mean, I just, you know, I don't know if, I guess we should maybe pull this up if we can, but Studio ADI did a makeup for the original Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, and it was like, looked like the Green Goblin in the comics. He has the face, and it was very cool. It was so cool, and like, I don't know why they can't just fucking do his face, for God's sake. Like, why has it gotta be some weird...
Studio ADI is the practical effects company that is doing Harbinger Down.
Yeah, that we supported, if you remember.
Supported back 6 months ago, or actually a year ago at this point.
Yeah.
They're in production. We visited them recently to see their movie, and everything's going well.
Yeah, yeah.
I think they're
Look how cool this thing was,
and that looks like the comics. I mean, that's like straight up from the comics, and that looks great. It looks so good.
Wait, what do you see it moving, though?
I know.
Here we go. I said at the end. That's not even it yet, is it? This stuff is pretty good.
Well, it still gives you a pretty good idea of what could have been before they went with the Power Ranger mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. No, watch, it's smiling and moving and stuff.
Oh! Look at that!
Awesome! That is awesome. That's what we need. That's what we need.
Can you believe they abandoned that?
They abandoned that, and they went with a mask.
Because CGI is better all the time, according to the studios.
So stupid.
Oh, this was a better. I think this was the video I was looking for. Anyway, you guys can subscribe to Studio ADI. I'm sure they'd be happy for us to hawk them for them.
Yeah.
Practical effects.
No, they have a lot of cool videos like this. We're just showing all the cool stuff that they do that never ends up in a movie.
Yeah, they've made a lot of stuff that they ditch.
That looks so awesome.
Look how great that looked, dude. Scary.
Oh, that eyeball.
But this still looks better than... This looks better than the Green Goblin they're going with now.
I know.
Based on that one picture.
Insane to me.
Of course, it's a completely different idea. This guy looks like an actual goblin.
Well, it's like that's what's fun about the comics, you know? Like
I'm riveted by this. This is so good.
Just
I'm pretty sure it was the same way.
The eyebrows move, the mouth moves.
I mean, I think
lots of little gears in there. We went by there and we saw them making. They had a gorilla mask and it had all the little servos and gears inside the face. It's amazingly complicated.
Insane.
It looks so much fun. Like so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I don't know.
That's a bummer.
Sony's amazing. I mean, it's no secret that I'm not a huge fan of their, new Spider-Man.
So let's go back to this.
Fuck.
Well, that's not as much fun, is it?
No, that looks like I don't even want to look at that. Like, why do I want to see that on a big screen?
Of course, it's dependent on whatever their story is going to be. Maybe that fits in perfectly.
He looks like a fucked up Lucky Charms guy. Okay, he looks not cool.
Speaking of Lucky Charms, that's a perfect transition for.
Oh wait, what happened to it?
So you're from Alabama, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Walk me through the discovery of the Alabama leprechaun.
Okay. Well, for
video.
those of you who have not been on the internet in like 5 years or something,
right?
There was an incident where the news in Mobile, Alabama, reported upon a supposed sighting of a leprechaun that had been going on in the neighborhood, and
this is where you're from.
Well, I'm not from Mobile. Come on.
Close enough.
No, that is South Alabama. That's that's L.A., Lower Alabama. Okay, that's different from where I'm
this
from.
is your home state, so let's have a look at what goes on
I'm
there.
right next to Tennessee, okay?
What some say is a piece of Irish folklore.
Some people in the Triton area of Mobile say a leprechaun is taking up residence in their neighborhood.
A leprechaun.
I can't believe these guys have to fucking talk about this.
This is
shit.
legitimate news in Alabama.
City leads to large crowds in Mobile's Crichton community.
Oh.
Many of you bring binoculars, camcorders, even camera.
Do they show the leprechaun?
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. I gotta do look up in the tree. Who else seen the leprechaun? Say yeah.
I love his look of just like everybody here sees leprechaun.
No, I went to school in Savannah.
Oh, this is so good.
Amateur sketch.
My theory is it's casting a shadow from the other limb.
That's not normally in this.
Yeah, this is an add-in.
Where's the chick?
Someone changed it.
I hate it when the fan edits stuff.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on.
Man.
I like the lady who's
So
talking
wait,
about...
here's the guy that... Well, these people are apparently really seeing something. They're acting like they're seeing something.
They got nothing better to do, man.
I don't know what's going on.
In the South, there is literally nothing to do.
I don't know. There could have been a leprechaun there. That's all I'm saying. But...
Well, I want to know where the gold at. Give me the gold. So
this brings up one of the probably the best thing on the internet of all time.
2 million view leprechaun song. I want the gold.
This is our new.
I think this is it.
Yep.
Yeah,
this is the new one.
By the dozens to get an up close view at what some say
This is the one.
Our new intro song right here.
A leprechaun.
I love the internet.
I know. This is so well remixed.
It's the rhythm of it is just great.
This should be on the radio. Fuck Maroon 5. This is where it's at.
I know. I want to hear this instead of Justin Bieber songs when I go in stores.
It's pretty dope. He was Black Irish. I just stole a Bernie Mac joke from
This is
I'm telling you though, this is what happens in Alabama. Because there's nothing else to do.
That is it. That video won the internet right there. It's over. There is no better viral video than that.
It's pretty good.
It should be at 25 million views, not just 2.
so
Spread it around, guys.
That's how you get from
Proliferate.
Captain America to the new Spider-Man to leprechauns in
Yes.
Mobile, Alabama in just 3 steps on the internet.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
You know what? Speaking of shit that looks terrible that you don't want to look at, what about the new Ninja Turtles? What about that?
Oh gosh. Okay. Let's talk about the nose fiasco.
So the trailer came out, and
Yeah.
you know, I try not to watch trailers for movies that I'm gonna see, but I don't want to see this, so I watched the trailer because I was like, I don't give a fuck because I know it's gonna be terrible. And man,
It looks
that's
like
not
a
a
Michael.
turtle.
Besides the noses, the trailer looked like a Michael Bay type
Well,
movie.
I mean, it has Michael Bay
Yeah.
all over it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, that's not...
Yeah,
You know,
Michael Bay stink. all over
fine.
it.
It's a movie trailer. I don't want to judge that stuff, but just judging the look of the design of the turtles.
Ugh, what is that?
Anyway, so yeah, a fan went and they redesigned the nose.
Look how cool!
Doesn't
blew up on the internet.
Look at how cute he
Couple days
is.
ago.
Look at how don't you want to be friends with that fucking guy? Don't you want to
Oh,
hang out with the guy
absolutely.
at the top? Do you
Absolutely.
want to fucking talk to that guy on the bottom?
No.
No, he
No.
looks scary.
Well, there's all kinds of great designs that people have done that are alternative. I mean, look at that one. That one's pretty cool. They could have gone with that,
Well, it's like, okay, the Dave
They
Raposa
didn't.
right?
right? The
Like
Raposa.
Dave Raposa, he's an artist,
I don't
digital
know who
painter.
did that one. I think maybe this was an alternative design. They turned that down. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
This even looks better than what they went with. It looks like they went with the worst possible design.
I know they have lips and
Oh,
nostrils,
this
noses.
this is Dave Raposa's work.
yeah,
Dude,
like
that looks cool.
I have one of his pictures hanging in
yeah,
my
the
bedroom.
Leonardo one.
Yeah.
And it's like so badass, and it's like just you don't
I
have to
know.
reinvent the fucking wheel.
All I had to do was pay this guy to use his designs. He nailed it. You can't get better than that.
I know. It's just
I'm always curious who's calling the shots on these things.
executives, not artists, apparently.
Well, okay, so we posted this on Facebook, right? And
Okay.
there were, of course, a few people that were upset about it. I'm like, stop hating on this movie. You know, you haven't even seen it yet.
I don't have to.
Which is normally maybe fair judgment, but in this case,
Look, I didn't wanna
all
bring
of the
this up.
evidence points at this is not going to work out, guys. I'm sorry. As much as we would love it to work out, it just and I don't even think we need to bring it up. I'm just only saying that because
Well,
people
it's
are
like you
accusing
see,
you of hating on this movie when you're not hating on it. You're just
I'm sorry. It's an honest
It's
critique
obvious.
of the design.
It's a bad design. It's a bad design, and then you have what's her face is April O'Neil, who couldn't even have been bothered to fucking dye her hair red. You know, it's like you don't even care. Like nobody cares. You're just trying to make a buck here. Okay, like quit
There's
letting
another
them-
alternative design, which is
so cute.
I know this is pretty cool. I mean,
That's so
4
cute.
different
I
ways
like
to
that.
do it.
Aw.
Raphael's a snapping turtle or something.
Oh, that's so. It's so
Raphael's always
because
kinda
he's
like the
all
little outsider.
snappy.
Yeah, so this has their
Aw.
personalities incorporated.
Aw, Michael
And
so cute.
I want to point out the fact that these guys actually have beaks, like real
yeah,
turtles.
yeah, beaks.
I would have been cool with beaks.
Turtles have beaks. I don't know if you guys
Not
knew this.
lips.
Cool designs did they go through? They're like, no, we have to do our own design so that God forbid we actually have to pay out any royalties.
No, we'll just go with this.
You know,
We'll just
this
go
is
with
nice.
this. That terrifies
I don't
me.
want to look at that for 2
The
hours.
growth-
I assume by now everyone's seen this, but God, these are so
That
good.
would
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Look at these faces.
So cool.
This,
Show the Leonardo one. The Leonardo one's the best.
yeah,
That's why I bought it for
yeah.
you.
We have
Look
the
at that.
Leonardo one.
So cool. So dope.
Dude, look at that, and look at that.
Which,
thick
by the way, I have
jaw.
no problem talking crap about this stuff. It means we get to highlight other artists.
Yeah, man.
And their great work.
Right.
I'm really
right.
okay
We're not
with this.
hating on this movie. We're just saying that there were literally
Like,
hundreds of
this-
better designs you could have
This
gone
Ninja
with.
Turtles design is so good that I specifically sought out Dave Raposa at the New York Comic Con and bought this from him personally. So,
And he got it signed, right?
and I got it's signed.
Yeah.
You know, like I gave him I literally gave Dave Raposa my money
I want to see this movie. How
Yeah.
long do we have to wait till this movie?
It's
until we
well,
get to direct it. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. So I mean, it's pretty much unanimous all over the internet that everyone thinks it's a bad idea. I think they should just pull the movie and digitally remake all of the noses. At this
I know,
point.
I-
but not that it matters because I don't think the movie's gonna be
It's
that
not
good.
gonna be good no matter what they do with
okay.
it. So I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, what else?
I mean,
What else sucks today on the internet?
there is something else that sucks on the internet. I know it sucks. How about the X-Men Carl's Jr. tie-in? That sucks pretty fucking hard.
I have beef with this.
Beef?
No, no pun intended.
Do you have double beef with
But I
bacon
have so
and
much
some
beef with
cheese
this.
and fucking?
Not that we're just talking about things that we dislike on the internet.
Oh.
And there
No,
happens
it's
to be a
just-
lot of things to point out.
There's just a lot of
I mean,
fuckery going
let's
on
put it
right
this way.
now.
Today it was just like, did you see this? Oh my god, that's crap. Did you see that? Oh my god, that was crap.
Yeah.
So this is what the Plopcast.
Well,
turned into
again,
today.
it's like this is why Captain America looks so
Well,
fucking good.
Then again,
you
is there
know?
anyone defending the Hardee's commercial with Quicksilver in it?
Oh, look at this shit. Tate, what are you doing? Tate.
Why, Tate? Why?
Why? I ain't the money, I guess. And ugh.
Okay, so what we've learned so
And he's
far
gonna grab
is
the bacon.
that Fox's take
his
on
eyebrows look terrible.
Quicksilver is that he's quick and he's silver.
Yeah, that's
pretty much how you came up with this character.
No, this is what you need to watch, though. This isn't even the bad part. Look at the... Ugh, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Ugh, Carl's
Look
Jr.
at that wig. Now, that looks straight out of Party City.
Party City.
Party
By the way,
City.
we totally endorse Party City. You're awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe in the storyline, he actually goes to Party City and buys a wig, so we'll look stupid
It
making fun of this
seriously
later.
looks cheap as fuck. Like, I buy wigs, like, for cosplay stuff, and that's a cheap fucking
I actually had this
wig.
jacket back in 1996.
I know.
I used to wear it to Bar Sinister.
Oh,
for their goth
gosh.
nights.
Go to the behind the scenes with Quicksilver and Colossus. Go to that.
Okay.
Because this is what really bums me out. Like, my friend Josh
By
sent
the way,
this to
Tate,
me.
you're awesome.
Yeah, you don't need to do this. What? Although they didn't get J-Law to do Mystique.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Is
Okay.
They have 2 Hardy's commercials so far. Who knows? They might come out with 10.
They have a Colossus one, too.
They have a Colossus one?
Yeah, but I don't
Okay,
think
so
it's out
3.
yet.
That's not Jennifer Lawrence.
That is not J-Law.
You lied to me. I am a fragile nerd. You cannot lie about something like that.
And then turn her into a man like that?
Not fair.
Ugh. It's disgusting.
Jennifer, honey.
It's disgusting. I don't...
Why do they have the real actor in one commercial and then not the real actor in another commercial?
Because he didn't win an
doesn't
Oscar?
Yeah, he doesn't have an Oscar, dude.
Well, then they should have just gotten a generic Quicksilver.
I know. It doesn't make sense to
You gotta
not
have
have J-Law.
consistency
Yeah,
going
you
on
do
here.
have to have consistency. You do have to have consistency. So it's like, if you can't
And
get
that helps.
J-Law, then just don't do Mystique. But they have to do Mystique because she's become the next... She's like the female Wolverine cash cow for the movies
that's
or
what I was gonna
something.
say. Like, you know that.
Yeah, this
I
whole
just-
thing just
well,
cheapens
you know.
the idea of what this movie is
And
going
it's
to
like,
be.
I get the fast food tie-in, okay? But Carl's Jr., I mean, that's so low rent. Like, I'd rather see them with Taco fucking Bell, and Taco Bell is shit. The Carl's Jr. is so disgusting. Like, I hate their fucking ads.
It's kind of the thing because Carl's Jr. has been like. I remember they made a commercial and they had to pull it because people thought it was insulting.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
That
what?
At
They
one
did?
point, I don't think they had to pull it, but it was for a brief amount of time, a couple years ago.
Oh, was it the Paris Hilton commercial?
No, fuck that. Oh, God, no. It was a commercial where, like, they even had the CEO going like, yeah, we put hot people in the commercials eating burgers because sexy women sell shit.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like this
They were copying.
like unapologetic commercial to like, that's how we do it. We
Yeah.
make good burgers and we have sexy people in our commercials.
Yeah.
And part of me was like, good for you. Yeah, that's how we do it.
Right.
But that commercial lasted maybe 2 minutes and then
I
People got
miss
offended?
the
Yeah.
fucking Hardy Star with Norm Macdonald. That shit was hilarious. The part,
yeah.
the one where he was like on the catwalk and then he fucking falls over and then catches on fire. That
was
shit
a
was
long
cracking
time
me
ago.
by
up.
the way, to these people, it's Hardee's.
Yeah, it is Hardy's.
Us West Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Hardy Star.
Carl's Jr.
Yeah.
The
You know what
Mason-Dixon
happened?
Mason-Dixon line
Yeah.
differentiates between Hardy's and
And it
Carl's
might
Jr.
also be like, well, the Mason-Dixon line's like north and south. I think also Mississippi, the Mississippi River might be like everything.
Do they have either or in other countries? I don't know.
I don't know.
But let's not get too far off from.
Yeah, okay, here we go.
Okay, now
Yeah.
watch this fucking commercial.
Evan Peters, also known as Quicksilver.
I'm sorry.
Daniel Dudmore, who played Colossus in X-Men.
I'm sorry for you too.
We're on set with Hardy and Carl's Jr.
This is their marketing strategy.
Rocking extra big.
Ugh, that poor guy.
So the overarching theme
Look at this guy.
of our spots
Overarching theme.
cast members of X-Men Days of Future Past is all about how the Western extra bacon cheeseburger has 2 times the bacon.
2 times
that
the bacon.
tastes Superhero's appetite.
Superhero's appetite.
Enjoy that all. And what
You need a
better
superhero's
than
appetite.
the X-Men?
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
This is the overarching theme. It's a fucking Hardy's commercial.
Really
he's an
deep
artist.
commercial.
Guys, he's an artist.
Oh.
All right, hold on. I want to see if they get the art across.
And then listen to this.
All right.
Listen.
And in this, you see the fun side. We get to have a little bit of fun with
Okay.
burgers and Carl's Jr. and show that it's not all business. Sometimes you
Okay.
Now,
All
okay,
right.
no, that's alarming to me because he just said that his character is very stoic and all this stuff, and that it took a Hardee's commercial for his character to have fun for one fucking moment. That's how bleak Days of Future Past is going to be.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm seeing a lot of different layers.
Oh yeah,
these
I
characters.
respect
Oh,
this now
yeah,
because I never
yeah.
realized how deep
I'm
commercial
sold.
could go.
I'm deeply.
It's like, why do we need a behind the scenes of a fucking Hardee's commercial?
These motherfuckers asked this guy.
Ugh, yeah,
well,
they
this
totally
is,
know what they're
let's
doing.
not blame Fox. This is a bad marketing team that went with a horrible idea. Does anybody think this is a great idea out there,
no.
guys? Is this thrilling you to go? I got to go see Days of
You know,
Future Past
somebody
now.
on Twitter said to me, and this is before I talk shit about this publicly, someone said, I was defending Days of Future Past, but seeing these Carl's Jr. commercials, I'm rethinking this whole thing.
Yeah.
Like it's like.
Whoops.
Well, that settles it right there. I mean, that's the final statement.
Like somebody who was defending it has seen this,
We
and
always
it's like
flop the burger down and have it splat everywhere.
No, it's just gross. It's just gross. You know.
This is why you stick to burritos, people.
Ugh, this is so gross. Like you couldn't even get Burger King. You couldn't.
I know.
Like, come on, get out of here. Ugh.
So one more reason why we're really scared about Days of Future Past.
I know. This is why I'm looking forward to
like-
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, let's talk about Guardians of the Galaxy.
yeah.
Let's
No.
talk about something exciting.
Yeah, something exciting. Guardians looks really cool. When I was I saw Winter Soldier twice, and so the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer was on, so I had to watch it. So,
Oh yeah, you had to. Really hard.
well,
Right. We were intending to skip that, but you were stuck in the middle of 1,000 people.
yeah, and I didn't want to,
Okay.
the whole thing. So I just sat there and I watched it. And it was so funny because the Days of Future Past thing came on first, and then Guardians of the Galaxy came afterwards. And I was like, which movie do I want to see based on the trailer? And it's like, Days of Future Past, hands down. It's like, or not Days of Future Past, sorry, Guardians of the Galaxy, hands down. Because like Days of Future Past just looks so fucking bleak. I don't know. I hate.
Well, you're saying you have a problem with that because you think X-Men should be more fun.
Yeah, it's like I know
Absolutely.
I know that they're a little darker than like the Avengers and things like that. I mean, I get that, but at the same time, you can have fun with these fucking characters and not put them in monochromatic crap all the time. And I just and they never have the costumes on them. I just don't know why they can't put their costumes on. Just give them their costumes.
Just give us the fucking blue and yellow. Just
give
do
them
it.
the costumes.
Do it.
Like fuck.
Anyway, what do you think of the designs of these guys?
Awesome.
So
this is gonna be great.
So good. I mean, like Gamora looks fucking great. It's like, I mean, even like Rocket Raccoon looks good.
That's
Drax,
Baptista, the wrestler.
that looks really good.
I mean,
he's a wrestler? Okay.
Yeah, for the WWE.
Yeah.
By the way,
looks
Ultimate
great.
Warrior, never forget.
Oh, I know.
That's
I
it.
thought he died a long time ago. He just
No,
died now.
no,
Shut your mouth.
no.
He's been alive this whole
You're
time?
thinking of Macho Man.
Macho Man pass.
No, never mind. Forget it.
Okay.
Anyway, Groot looks great.
Oh my god, I
Groot
loved
looks
it in
awesome.
the trailer where he's like higher than everything and he has to like bend down. And I love that he's like working as his, houseplant / hired muscle, I was like, it's so good.
It looks like the perfect tone though for this sort of movie.
Well, exactly. It's
I
like
can't imagine that people aren't going to go see this. It just looks.
I mean, I
so
really
great.
think that we will not get Serenity or Firefly.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've kind of brought myself to accept that after months of therapy. But I feel like they've made this movie for those fans.
Yeah.
Like
Where it's
you
like
guys,
fun
it's
space.
fun space operatic.
Yeah.
Shoot
'em up.
Totally.
Craziness.
The space outlaw.
Yeah.
The space cowboy.
Space cowboys.
And,
Cowboys.
James Gunn's been a totally competent director
Mm-hmm.
in handling other superhero films in that he deals with what it would be like, what is the psychic instability of someone who is a superhero.
Yeah.
Like Super was great.
Here's the director,
what's the
James.
other one he did? Slither. Slither was awesome. All practical effects, by the way.
Oh yeah, we did see Slither.
Slither
Yeah,
was
I mean,
really
yeah, I
rad.
made him watched it. Yeah.
I can't believe no one told me about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Slither
And-
was awesome.
That was like 2006 or something.
Yeah.
It's
Like
been
they actually all the stuff to make that creature.
Yeah.
They cleaned out the industry for like 3 weeks of that stuff. Like no one else could get it because that production
Wow.
was
took-
doing nothing but
taking
practical effects
all
and
the
using
stuff.
that.
Wait, are
Yeah.
you sure? I don't see Slither on here. I guess.
Yeah.
It is.
There it is.
It is.
Okay.
Boom.
Yeah, Slither was a interesting mashup of a bunch of different horror movie genre.
Yeah, it was a
Nathan
little.
Fillion
It
was in it.
Yeah.
What's his name from? I want to say Michael Ironside, but that's not right.
There's.
It's a lot of fun.
There
It's
was
a lot
so
of
many
fun.
good
Walking
character
Dead.
moments.
Yeah.
There was so many, like, that's what I liked about Slither. It's just like, it was really fun poke at like small town life, and it had like a
That
lot
was the
of,
best thing. That was the best observation about it. Is
Yeah.
making fun of Southerners because we're from the South, and it's like that in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, check out Slither if you haven't seen it already. I
So
was really
Guardians of the
surprised by
Galaxy,
it.
yeah, but go see Slither.
It
He's
looks,
absolutely
but the
right.
tone looks perfect. I mean, because it's like, it's one of those things where not a lot of people know about the Guardians of the Galaxy. So I love that in the trailer, the people even in that universe don't know who the Guardians of the Galaxy is.
Right.
So it's like, it brings you along as somebody who doesn't know about this team. Like, it's a really great transition into learning more about
And
them.
that
Yeah,
is
it's
brave.
self-defacing,
Yeah.
anyway.
The fact that Marvel I'm sorry, can't do any wrong right now as far as their movie studio.
Yeah.
And like, oh, what's the next movie you're going to do? Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy. Well, you can't do that. It doesn't happen on Earth. Yeah, we know. But I mean, how's it even going to tie into whatever you're doing? It doesn't even have to tie in. We're just going to tell a really good story.
Yeah. And it's like, you can always just mention
Wait, does
Thanos.
it not tie in? I assumed
mean,
it was going to tie in.
I don't know how it's going to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it is or not,
They don't-
but the Thanos
Yeah.
thing could be the way they could tie it in.
I don't know. I did read that Guardians of the Galaxy Marvel Now issue #1, and I remember them speaking of you know, there's all this stuff going on in outer space, and Earth doesn't even realize it. You know,
it's them.
Earth thinks it's the only thing, but you know, there's so much stuff going on in outer space.
Yeah, and it just looks like it has,
which expands the Marvel universe immensely by.
Now it's really the Marvel universe. You know, now it is like getting a lot bigger, and I am so excited for it. I think it looks like fun. Again, it looks fun. Like there's jokes in it. It doesn't take itself so seriously. John C. Reilly, the Nova Corps.
They have the Nova Corps.
Like, it was so awesome.
And I like how everyone keeps poking fun at the fact that these guys take themselves so seriously.
Yeah,
Just from that preview, it's like, what do they call themselves? They call themselves the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Like, they look like a bunch of a-holes. Like, it's just so funny. I was like, so
because wouldn't you feel stupid telling, like, who are you? I'm Star-Lord.
Star-Lord.
Like, come on, whatever.
Like, it's like,
jerk
shut
off.
up, shut
okay,
up.
Star-Lord.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you give yourself your own nickname.
Yeah, like, exactly. And it was like, who calls him that? Himself. Mainly. Yeah. It's like, so funny. So funny.
Anyway, I think it's about time to take a bathroom break.
Bathroom break? Are you looking up bathroom break right now?
Oh, man. Yay. You want to go first?
Yeah.
Lovely.
You go, and then I'll go, and then if Kirk needs to
I'm
go.
gonna go outside.
Okay.
We're going to take a brief commercial break, and we'll be right back. And we're back.
We're back.
Back from our bathroom break.
Yeah.
That was awkward with all three of us in there at the same time.
It's super weird.
So let's talk about
I wasn't joking.
Our store. We've got t-shirts for sale.
Yep, we still have t-shirts for sale if you're interested. We have a new design up by Cameron Kilgo.
Buy all the swag.
Let's take a look at that.
And it's like the Comic-Con eye, but it's comic book.
That's pretty sweet.
I want to get that for Comic-Con. I want to get my own shirt.
I'm still trying to get
somebody buy her own shirt.
I know.
I like the robot one. I don't know why. I just happen to like it.
Yeah, the robot one's really good. That one's by Todd, right?
Yeah, Todd Clark designed that one. He did a great job.
Robot one's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people like that one.
I like that one. I want to wear that one
dark
too.
Dark charcoal gray. Some of these
get it
you
on many
can
colors,
customize.
By the way, that is a very ambiguous, just very cool design by itself.
Yeah.
So even if you fucking hate this show, you should still order that.
Nobody knows.
No one will know.
We might have a few people do that. Yeah, you love orange or gray on gray.
Or
I wish they had a pink one.
Gray and black.
I like the
black on black.
I like the
that's
black
cool.
and gray. I think that's cool.
White
go with the olive.
I might go green too. Olive.
Green
you like olive? Is that
military
your color?
green.
Yeah.
That looks kind of cool.
That looks good.
Yeah.
Looks good. The brown's a little weird.
Apparently, gingerbread is my color.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's
gingerbread.
Good. He looks good in gingerbread.
I don't like the word gingerbread, but it just means brown, basically. It
brown. Means a specific. Well, you know.
Yeah.
Is it the ginger part?
Well, it's funny. Like if you ask, like if you show a color to a girl and a color to a guy, like if you show a purple, a girl will be like, "That's lilac," and a guy will be like, "That's purple." Mm-hmm. Like all purples are purple to a guy, and then to a girl, it's like lilac. And then there's, I don't know. There's all these different ones.
I really like this design. It's 8-bit Comic Book 19. Be careful custom designing these things because, I don't know, they might clash.
Actually check some of the designs out, yeah.
Yeah.
But I really like this design by
Aristu. Yeah, Aristu. He's been there from the beginning.
Yep.
Yeah, he's one of our fans.
Some of these are all done by fan art of our show.
That's cool. It's pretty cool. I know, and I'm working on a design for something. I don't know if it's going to go on a shirt or something, but Tyson's always hogging the Cintiq, so I can't ever get on there, color it. But I inked it.
There you go.
So it looks good.
I did a t-shirt design too about a year ago, and I still haven't finished it.
Well,
I have to edit the show.
That's yeah, I know. Can't have any time for anything
else.
Anyway,
check it out, comicbookgirl19.com.
Yes.
Moving on.
Support the show.
Do it.
Moving on.
Oh, hey, Starship Troopers, what's up?
Yeah, let's talk about Starship Troopers.
Let's do it.
That movie came out in 2007.
Yeah.
But it's become very relevant now because we went to a screening of Starship Troopers at the ArcLight. They had
at the Cinerama Dome.
I love when they do that.
And Moby was there.
Moby was hosting the whole event.
Moby, and I was like,
wait, the artist Moby?
Yes. Yes.
That's exactly how I felt.
Very
cool.
And I was like, I don't know what Moby's going to say about this, but I'm extremely interested to find out. But apparently what the deal was is that they're having this series of screenings through this one particular group. I can't remember the name of them, but
did you say 2007? Came out in 1997.
1997.
Oh, did I say 2007?
Yeah.
I forgot a whole decade. Yes, it was 1997.
I had to check that because I'm like, I wasn't 27. That
no.
affected me on a different level, and I was way young for it to do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man. Anyways, I'm sorry.
So they asked Moby what movie that he would want to play, and he chose Starship Troopers.
He said it was his favorite movie of all time.
Yeah, and
that's bad.
It was really interesting hearing his reasons, because there was a post-movie interview, and it turned out, shockingly, who showed up?
But Paul Verhoeven and Ed Neumeyer, the screenwriter who wrote both RoboCop and Starship Troopers.
Surprise appearance.
Awesome!
It was so awesome.
So, like, it wasn't even advertised that they were going to show up.
No.
And they were...
Yes. And it was awesome.
That's so cool.
I know. From now on, I'm going to try to go to as many Cinerama Dome things as possible. But, it was so interesting to hear Paul Verhoeven talk about all this stuff. And it was so great. Like, there was one point where they asked him, they're like, so how do you feel about them remaking Starship Troopers? And he was like, well, I guess after RoboCop and what's the other one?
Total
Recall. It seems like a great idea, you know.
Like, just keep going.
Like
hashtag sarcasm.
And hashtag sarcasm, and everyone cracked up in the theater over it. And he wants to do his own Jesus movie, which it's like he said that it would be like Starship Troopers but with Jesus, and I was like,
doesn't that sound
doesn't
amazing?
want to fucking see that, man.
But he can't find funding. He was just saying like how it's just fucking impossible, you know. And
but
like
he's still pursuing it.
He's still pursuing it, but he's saying that just like for him, like for Paul Verhoeven can't make a movie. You know what I'm saying? In this
that's what
climate.
I found out about Starship Troopers was really interesting, and I want to get to the making of it, but let's talk about Starship Troopers for a second.
Okay.
And what was really interesting about it?
Such a cool flick.
Okay, the first time I saw it, I was a teenager, and didn't get the. Well, I don't think anybody got. The political nature, the anti-war message that's inside of there.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have come back to that movie now over almost 2 decades and realized how significant this movie is. And it's almost shocking that it is almost a step-by-step
there she goes.
explanation. Yeah, our cat's climbing on the couch. Step-by-step of how the Iraq War went. So there's a Cracked article, and there's also someone that wrote another article before. Let's see, I brought it up somewhere right here. Yeah.
The avclub.com.
AV.com. It's like basically how Starship Troopers predicted the future.
Yeah, saying
that. A lot of people are saying, like, does Paul Verhoeven have a time machine?
Yeah.
Because
it's just like, I mean, people say that he's prescient and that this movie is definitely predicting a lot of things which have come to pass. But the thing is like, I mean, I feel like, I don't know, the shit that I'm saying right now that's like, hey, this is going to be a problem. I mean, it's going to be a problem. It's not rocket science. I don't know. The guy just has his eyes open, you know?
Well, not just the guy. It's the writer and the director.
Yeah, both of them.
And Neumeyer doesn't get enough credit for he wrote RoboCop, by the way.
Yeah. And that's the thing that I really enjoyed about the thing afterwards, too, is like they were talking about how when... You know, they've worked together on Starship Troopers. You know, like, they would go back and forth, and it was, like, this really collaborative, creative process.
Yeah, they
seem
like a really good team.
Yeah, they seem like a really good team, which made my heart happy to see two people working together.
And the interesting thing is, if you read the original Starship Troopers book, the novel, they only touched on it really a little bit in the movie.
Did you read
about how citizens, you have to go through the military to become a citizen. And there's, I mean, you know, when he looks at his mom and dad and goes, no, I'm ready to be a citizen. And his mom and dad are not citizens.
Yeah.
They never went through the military.
Right.
The book is very much, you know, right as might. It is very military. Like, that is the future, and it's a bleak one at that, that they paint of, like, you don't have any rights unless you've actually served.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I thought was so fascinating about it, is that this is a vision of a future of what would it be like if we all became fascists.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and there are also countries now that you have to. There's military service. Like, I believe, is it China or South Korea, North Korea? I don't know. I know North Korea is fucking shitty all over, but I know there's other countries that you do have to serve in the military
China's
before.
Shitty all over.
I know, poor China.
But but that's fascinating stuff. And but the way the movie is presented is like, this is great. This is the way it should. You know, this is fun. You know.
Yeah. Well, it shows you how you could become a fascist. How easily anyone could become one. You know, and that's what's so interesting because Verhoeven dealt with some World War II-ness going on or whatever. You know, he dealt with the Nazi deal in his life, and he just saw how horrifying it was. And I love that he just felt the need to show, like, you know what, everyone's always talking shit about him, but how easily you can become that. I mean, it's like, and in this movie, it really does I don't know. It does.
And the fact that it predicted the
job.
Iraq War must mean that they really understood the process of how war happens.
Yeah.
And that's even the idea of false flags attacks are brought up. There's a lot of people that speculate that the attack on Buenos Aires was a false flag attack done by the government to prompt us to enter the war with the bugs.
Yeah,
which
to
might
reinvigorate the war
with
the bugs.
That happened.
That was the call to action
in our own world.
Like Coulson dying in the Avengers. That's the glue. That was the call.
Yeah,
you know?
and I think it's really interesting that they've picked Buenos Aires because after World War II, Buenos Aires, that whole country, I can't remember, Argentina. They had a bunch of Nazis come over there after the war, like war criminals. So I think it's really interesting that you have these characters who are like Casper Van Dien, who's like the poster child of the Aryan nation looking. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like he looks like, the Ubermensch.
Well, they all look like the perfect Aryan race.
I know, and
Especially
and I think it's funny that they're from Buenos Aires.
Of what if Hitler had won?
But it's like, why do you have all these white people in fucking Argentina? And it's like, because they're descended from the World War II Nazis. Like,
did Verhoeven actually say something to the effect of he purposely casted super good-looking people
to fight bugs,
ridiculously like good-looking people.
Yeah. And I really loved what's Charlie Sheen's ex-wife? What's her name? Denise Richards.
She was actually great in it.
She was so fucking good in it. Yeah. Like I was like, there was this part where Verhoeven after the thing was talking about. She's
is
such a
good looking
character.
in a porn star looking way.
No, she looks like fucking Danger Girl. She looks like a J. Scott Campbell drawing.
Oh my god, she is a Danger Girl.
She is J. Scott Campbell drawing in real life. But I love that Verhoeven was saying that.
That's a really good description.
I've always thought that.
Awesome.
But he was saying that in the movie, when she leaves Casper Van Dien's character and says, "Hey, I have to be a pilot, and this is what I have to do," and like
here's the scene. Go ahead.
And it's like she breaks his heart, and Verhoeven was saying that a lot of people didn't like her character because of that, but he was saying that he was trying to illustrate that. Like, she has every right to do that. Like, why is she a bad guy for doing that? Because she's obviously really talented pilot, and that's more important to her than a relationship. And we're always talking down to girls like, all you care about is boys and relationships.
Cool. I like that.
But then the minute when she chooses, a career over a relationship, she's a bitch.
I'm glad I zoned back into the conversation there for a second, because,
well,
Denise
and
Richards.
also, like, somebody else was bringing up on Twitter after I had said I had seen it that, they brought up all the co-ed showers that Verhoeven has.
Right.
But if you think about it,
I googled that.
Verhoeven has all these in these future timelines where in his future, men and women, like you can just, it's fine. Like sex is separate
the not safe
from
for
nudity.
Work part of the episode.
But it's like, but I love the idea that like these people are so comfortable with each other and sexuality is so different in the future where you can just be naked in front of each other and it's not a big deal, but then you still have sexual relationships, but you're cool about it. Everyone's on equal level, yeah. And that's
nice censored picture, okay.
And that's the thing too. It's like, this is how I feel as a woman, is that if guys didn't act like such fucking pervy fucking weirdos, sex-starved assholes all the time and freaked out if they saw a pair of tits, if they just acted like it was cool, girls would have their tits out more often. If guys were just like, this is your tits.
That's a good point, because the way that we behave in a lot of ways people don't realize is just our culture speaking. It's just us reacting to how everyone else reacts.
Yeah.
And that's where we learn these things from. But culture can be a lot of different ways. There's a lot of possibilities for our culture.
Well, it's like you can appreciate...
It could be like this, for example. You could co-ed showers.
You could appreciate the female form
Might
without
seem crazy to you, but
being a creeper about it. I mean, but then again, that's something that an artist learns how to do, because I've gone through many like nude drawing sessions to where I just look as the body. I don't necessarily associate nudity with sex specifically.
Well, and I think it was interesting, like you said, you were going back to like how the shower scene was really supposed to try to convey like the I break things, the idea that everyone's like comfortable with each other, they're on the same level.
Well, although
this is a thing.
There's women in the infantry. There's women in like in this movie, like women are in everything as long as they're good at it. Like that one chick Des.
Like you make it on their level, but at the same time, I think it's funny that at the time you're trying to convey that idea. Meanwhile, audiences, like when that happens on screen, audiences were like,
yeah, it makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of a bummer. It's like you have to kind of throw that idea out and make people feel a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, people felt uncomfortable about the idea that everyone was comfortable with each other.
I know.
I think that's kind of weird.
But that's what goes on in other cultures.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
Totally.
It's so
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
There's such a true statement to that.
Well, Verhoeven really does believe that women are equal to men. You know, I mean, if you look at RoboCop, I mean, RoboCop's partner is a woman. You know, I mean, if you look at this, like,
yeah,
you know,
everyone is.
Well, he believes that women and men are equal. You know, because in Starship Troopers, you have Denise Richards' character who ends up partnering with that dude or whatever, the
guy from Speed 2, and that's all anyone remembers him from.
And then you also have Casper Van Dien's character who's like, you know, becomes you know, partners with Dez, and it's like, and they balance each other, and they're so much better for that. You know, it's like
it's weird because
they reinforce each other.
Yeah, at the end you're kind of like, oh, this actually made a lot of sense. You're not, by the end of the movie, you're not like, fuck Denise Richards, she should go back. Like, in the end, you're really bummed when, spoilers, Dez dies.
Yeah.
And she's like, you know, at least I got to love you. And you're like,
spoilers on a 20-year-old movie.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
I know. And it's like, I felt so bad for the whole movie because it's like, I thought it was also really interesting because I think a lot about gender things and the male and the female aspect. And I think it's interesting that Denise Richards' character, the female, she automatically is like, okay, you're my dude. Let's do this. You're my co-pilot. Fuck yeah. But the man can't accept the feminine part of himself. Like, Casper Van Dien's character can't accept her until the very end, until it's like he just sees
like,
how she has his back all the time. And then he finally, you know, and it's, I don't know, it's a whole
Careful,
thing.
you might be in third gear right now.
I know, I am in third gear. I'm like way ahead of everybody.
It's a good third gear, though, don't worry.
Sorry, I think about these things a lot.
But hey, I'm glad we got to talk about this because this is one of my favorite movies.
It's so good.
And
like,
I'm glad that, like, hopefully, like, younger viewers with, you know, appropriate age consent, because it's a hardcore R.
Yeah.
Especially for 97.
I don't care about that. I think people that are old enough to be socially aware of what's going on in the world now and apply that to a fantasy film and realize how significant it is and what the artists are trying to say.
Yeah, I was trying to stick that part in by just saying, hey, you should check out the film.
Screw you, Kirk.
I know.
Too excited about this.
Tyson just wants
totally.
to
It's a
nail
great
it
flick.
in.
It's a great flick.
But yeah,
that you should totally watch for what he said.
And also, it's interesting because in 1997, the internet wasn't what it is today, but in this film, you know, it's like you have the net and you're clicking on links and you're going around, you're in portals and you're like,
yeah, what do you think about that?
I thought that was so cool. I mean,
Would you like to know more?
You know, exactly. It was like that prescient thing.
That's what's going on now. That's exactly what
portals. And it's like, Verhoeven, you nailed it.
Yeah, it was a good prediction of the future. But before we wrap this up, which we need to, I did have a new appreciation for Moby. Not that I didn't appreciate him before, but finding out that he was a big film buff and a big, you know, film nerd was really, you know, fascinating. You know, he had a lot of really good things to say about it.
Yeah. No, he was very well spoken, very smart. Everything
in fact,
he said.
Moby, if you're listening, we'd love to have you on the show.
Why the fuck not?
I know you live in Silver Lake.
Yeah, he's around.
You're around.
I've never been to an Eminem concert, so
and thanks for putting that on.
Yeah.
Never been to an Eminem concert.
Yeah, they had a feud. Well, not really.
No, I remember that.
Eminem had the feud. Yeah. Moby's just fucking rad.
Moby's just like,
Yeah, he wrote him into a song for some reason.
Yeah, but I do love the casting in this film though. Last words. It was just like, I like it when the people look like their fucking part, and that's what he nailed. It's like they're not the best necessarily actors and actresses in the world necessarily, even though everybody I think did a pretty good job.
Right.
They were cast because of the way they looked, and it's like that. Like it's so looks are so powerful, you know. They're so powerful and they're so important, and he knew what he was doing, and I just love it. Right. It's just they're like comic book characters. I mean, it's
although Paul Verhoeven did say, I wish that I had recast this movie with some famous people in it because it didn't do well at the box office.
Right, but I love that he snuck this in too. Like,
oh yeah, that's another big thing we learned.
Yeah,
God, there's so many things that we overheard.
I know. It sucked though too because the audio was all fucked up on that interview. Like. Their audio kept cutting out.
They screwed up their speakers, but that's not important. But it was interesting that he was saying that this movie would have normally never have gotten made, but it got made because whoever produced it, was it Fox, was in the process of turning over like 3.
It was like a regime changes like kept coming and happening while this movie was being made, so nobody was keeping.
The cracks.
Yeah, it slipped through the cracks. Nobody was monitoring it because they're all vying for power in between themselves.
Right.
So he was left to just do whatever he wanted.
Because
this is how we get him to make another film.
Exactly.
Who is having problems right now?
I know. Well,
pitch the movie to them.
Well, you know what? Everyone's getting ready to have problems because of the mega movie franchises that are getting ready to come out.
Ever.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Mega franchises.
Mega franchises.
the topic of conversation now is going to be that...
This is kind of something near and dear because when we're not doing the Plopcast, this is something we've been talking about a lot.
I know. We talk about this anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so it's the year 2014, right?
It's 2014.
And we're on the verge of the fact that the next decade or so is going to be nothing but comic book movies, it seems.
Yeah.
All right, you got Fox, you got Warner Brothers, you got Sony and
Marvel.
And we will ask the question,
and those are...
Is that necessarily a good thing?
Yes, those are 4 of the 5 big studios, and they're all going to have a mega franchise. Mega franchise meaning that it's their own cinematic universe.
Like what Marvel's doing.
Right. Marvel started it, and now everyone is following the footsteps because they're making tons of money off of it. Can you blame them? However, we think that might be a bad thing.
Let's talk about
bad thing
because I don't think anyone saw Marvel coming.
No.
No one saw it.
No.
The interlocking, everything's connected
yeah.
plan that Marvel instituted, where literally all the other studios realized what was going on when it was too late.
Yeah. But the thing is, they did it so slowly. You know, they did like one movie and another movie and another movie. And it's just, it was so beautiful the way they did it.
We talk about this on the show a lot. And we kind of have voiced our distaste about the fact that Fox and Sony have like their respected franchises, and Marvel has to move on with those.
Yeah.
19 said it to me last week when we were talking after we saw Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, Kirk, be ready. You're gonna get your heart broken over Spider-Man, and I'm gonna get my heart broken
over X-Men. It's like, just get ready.
And I'm bracing for it. I really am.
Well, is your heart even in the X-Men at this point?
So basically, Sony only has X-Men.
Yeah.
And they're trying to build a cinematic universe just like Marvel has, with just X-Men.
Right.
Because that's all they have.
Well, apparently they don't. Well, it's not they only have the X-Men. They have every mutant. I think it's like how did you sign away every mutant character? Like
because Marvel was bankrupt at the time.
But just give them just the X-Men, not every mutant. That's like hundreds of characters they gave away.
Which is why they're bringing in the Inhumans in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, but the
Which they did a great job of Captain America with that so far.
Yeah. But and then Fox has. Sony Spider-Man.
Yeah, Sony has Spider-Man.
And Fox is X-Men.
Yeah.
So now Sony has Spider-Man. And they're going to build an entire mega franchise just out of Spider-Man characters. That's it. Like, the villains are going to get their own movies.
It's not going to work.
Well, okay, let's clarify for the audience, because I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that are like, what's wrong with that? That's fine. Well, things could go bad for all of us, because...
Yeah.
In the 2015, 2016, 2017, and moving on to the future, you're going to end up with so many comic book movies. You're going to have a complete oversaturation of the market of comic book movies. Every weekend, there's going to be like 2 comic book movies.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're not all going to be good. Sturgeon's Law
it's impossible. Thank you.
Yes.
90% of them will be bad.
Sorry to interrupt, dude. I want you to talk about Sturgeon's Law.
Yeah, Sturgeon's Law. It's really interesting. And it applies to more than just movies.
Everything in your life. Everything.
Yeah. We discovered that from making this show. So true. So it's virtually impossible that most of these movies are going to be good, and that we're going to be living in some kind of
golden era
utopia where
it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good that there's going to be all these superhero movies.
Well, and the thing is like there's not enough to go around. There's going to be some mega fucking losers on this mega franchise business, and I've been saying this for years that it's like there's going to be a lot of losers, and it's going to ruin their shit so hard.
It's not even just that. The fact that there's going to be losers and there's going to be fans of those movies, they're going to get their hearts broken because they took their favorite character and was like, but we need to make it the biggest thing. I was telling you guys before, and this was trademark team19.com. Marvel started an arms race.
Yeah.
When Avengers happened.
Yes.
When Avengers happened.
The comic book movie arms race is happening now.
Yeah. And it's ridiculous because it's like, I don't know, you just see how competent Marvel is, and then you just see how not competent everybody else is. And
we don't know that for sure. To be safe, things change.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
starting
I hope so. Now.
It's starting.
I don't see any way out for the X-Men unless they just reboot the whole thing, which I think they should have done in the first place.
Yeah, X-Men.
They won't do it.
You've already said this before, and I thought it was a great point that the X-Men should be handled like Game of Thrones because there's so many stories, so many characters. You could build a huge, complex world, and that would be the ideal way to portray that.
Yeah.
Why not? Because I mean, especially with X-Men,
And then X-Men 3 is still canon. I mean, X-Men, like,
counts.
Ratner's crap is still there. I mean, Cyclops is still dead. You know, it's like, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
It's like and the only reason they killed off Cyclops is because they were pissed because he was going with Bryan Singer to do the friggin' Superman movie that sucked balls. And
Super emo?
well, yeah, yeah. Well, the costume design was good, but anyways. So that's why they killed off Cyclops, because they were pissed at him for going with them. And so now you've just killed off the leader of the X-Men, and you still have an X-Men franchise going. And I guess just Wolverine. It should just be called the Wolverine Men, to be honest.
Yes.
The Wolverine Men, Days of Wolverine Future and Wolverine Past. I mean, for fuck's sake.
Because,
like,
you know, if you haven't
X3,
noticed,
the Wolverines United.
I know. Like, what the
every
fuck?
X-Men movie so far has been a story about Wolverine. And they're doing it again with Days of Future
And the thing
Past.
is, he's supposed to be a fucking mysterious character, isn't he? So why the fuck is
we know
every
everything
movie
about
about
him.
it? Like, it's so boring. It's just like, they're beating a dead horse, you know? It's just like...
I think it's smart just to do a reboot. Start all over.
The entire market could theoretically collapse, and it looks like a good likelihood it would. I mean,
Well,
Steven
everything,
Spielberg and George
every
Lucas got
bubble
together and
burst.
said,
Yeah.
like, every bubble. They got together and said that it looks like all of Hollywood could collapse from the market that we're doing right now, where everything is reliant on these mega franchises, these huge super budget movies.
$250 million, $300 million
Some of them are
movies.
not going to work, and at some point we're going to bring down some major studios because of that.
Yeah.
They're all going to go bankrupt or something.
Yeah, yeah. But, you know, honestly, I kind of hope that happens. Like, because we need, like, a new Hollywood. Like, there needs to be a regime change because, you know.
Well, you can't just blame them. A lot of it's our fault or the viewers' fault, because they've only gone to see the big name movies.
Well,
then again, you could say it's a studio's fault because you trained the people to only do that. I don't know.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
Well, the thing is, this is my thing. It's like, if I'm getting tired of it, give it a couple years. Everybody else will be tired of it too. Like, I mean, that's generally how it goes. So it's like, if I'm fucking bummed, like, other people will be bummed soon. It's just, it may be not when I'm bummed, but
well, okay,
it's
here's
going to
a good
happen.
question. I read an article. I couldn't find it. I think it was IO9, and they were like, who do you think is going to lose first? Okay? At some point, someone's going to drop the ball.
The ball's already been
Place
dropped.
your bets.
I mean, I'm thinking...
But we don't talk about it anymore.
I'm betting Fox or Sony. I'm betting Fox more than Sony. But, dude, I can't believe this shit. The Warner Brothers is releasing Batman vs. Superman the same weekend as Captain America 3. Are they really thinking about doing that? I mean, I know that they could change it at any moment and that they could change their minds between now and then. But that seems like a really bad idea.
It seems like a terrible idea.
It seems like a really bad idea.
But that's what the thing, though. These summers are going to be so cramped with so many superhero movies that
people are going to get tired of it.
They're like forced to do stuff like this, and it's going to cause a collapse of the whole industry.
Well, that's why I think Guardians of the Galaxy is going to be good. I have to go back to it for a second. Technically, we're not going to get a superhero film.
Yeah.
We're going to get Space Cowboys.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to go back to that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
No, the cosmic shit.
It's not going to be a superhero film. It's just going to be a really great movie made by Marvel.
Yeah.
It's going to be so good. Yeah, that's a bad idea.
That's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. I've heard a lot of not great things about Batman and Superman from people who are working on it, so...
We all have.
I mean, like, people who are literally working on it.
By the way,
like,
WB, you have a really bad leak.
Really bad.
Really bad leak.
Yeah, it's... I don't know. This whole thing.
It's everybody.
Well, to be fair to Warner Brothers, a lot of people do say that their animated department should be the ones handling the film.
I've been talking about this for a long time right now. The two things that DC is prevailing in. Here, I can talk about awesome DC stuff right now. Their animation is kick-ass.
Totally. 100%.
Warner Brothers, that's what they do. Animation. I cannot wait when DC Animated puts out new stuff. I can't wait for their new TV shows. I thought Young Justice was amazing. It got canceled too early. I think the Green Lantern cartoon shouldn't have been canceled yet. I love Teen Titans. Teen Titans
is fun. I got no problem with Teen Titans.
And the other thing, and I kind of want to thank everybody who...
Batman Brave and the Bold?
Fuck yeah, Batman Brave and the Bold.
It's so fun.
It's so good. It's
so
like
fun.
Batman 66 comic book.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's so goofy and fun.
And the other thing is their TV shows. And I kind of need to thank you guys because I'm hooked on Arrow.
Yeah?
I'm hooked.
Yeah.
Arrow's great.
That's what I hear.
It's good.
I need to do it, but I
They had a Harley Quinn cameo.
Nice.
Dude. They put together the Suicide Squad. John Barrowman, Captain Jack from Doctor Who, is Merlin, the other archer. the way they're handling everybody is so good.
Well,
They've hinted to Ra's al Ghul and the League of Shadows.
Right. Well, it's like they have a blueprint from Smallville. You know, it's like they had Smallville, which was really successful, and they're just kind of like applying that again, and it's like, and it works. You know, it's like
and I think WB, as far as like their TVs, I'm really excited about Gotham. I'm really good.
Oh man, I
for Jim Gordon centric.
I can't believe that Ben McKenzie from the OC,
right?
Gordon, it's so funny.
Grow the mustache, dude. Trust me on that one.
I know. But he's such an underrated actor.
But it's so funny because the two things that DC prevails at. And I don't think they're pump more money into that. Pump more love and creativity. But the thing is like they see what Marvel's doing, and it's like they're always. I mean, both of them are always like this. It's like, oh, well, they're doing this, so we have to do that. They beat Marvel at that game.
You know, it's like,
oh, Marvel isn't doing that great with the animation. Oh, Marvel doesn't. They're just getting on board with the TV shows.
Yeah.
Stay ahead of them on that.
Yeah, I know. Build that out.
Yeah, build that up. No, you're gonna do Batman versus Superman. Put way too many characters into it. Come on.
And they're just rushing. I mean, they're just rushing into some shit, and they don't know what they're doing yet. Because that's the thing. I mean, Marvel has like, over 6 years of like experience, whereas like they don't, and it shows. Yeah. I mean, it's just like making movies is hard, and they finally have a really solid team that's coming together that really knows what they're doing because they've done this like 6-7 times now. So it's like the producers know what they're doing at this point, and it's like you can't really compete with that. You can't compete with experience. And that's what they're trying to do. It's like it's crazy. It's crazy.
By the way, did you guys remember the little article? I read it like 2 days before I went to go see Cap, and this only expands on your point. That Kevin, I have a script, his name. Fahey.
I think it's Fahey.
And he's kind of overseeing all the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Kind of joked about like, oh yeah, we've kind of got them planned all the way through 2024, 2025.
28. Yeah.
And I was like, that's a bunch of PR BS.
Yeah.
And then I came out of Captain America like, maybe they really do have everything planned.
Well, it's like, there was the Doctor Strange thing. They have the Ant-Man movie coming out. They have the Guardians of the Galaxy movie coming out. They have something else coming out, too.
There's something about Captain America. It was like, holy crap, you guys do have a plan.
Yeah.
You're like the Cylons.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
There is a plan.
Yeah. Movie plans through 2028.
Right. One of those included Groot 2.
Well, maybe they'll let me do a Dazzler movie at some point.
Possibility of.
Yeah. Just, I mean, by 2028, we should be ready for that. I mean, come on.
Anyway,
written, produced, directed, and starring.
We should move on to a comic book poll.
Okay.
What are we doing?
Well, let's talk about Sandman 2.
Wait. Are we working?
Wait. And go. Okay.
The overhead.
All right, we got Sandman 2 finally came out.
3 months late?
But you know what? It was worth the wait.
Totally good.
Totally good.
Let's start that all over again.
Wait, no. What? No. No!
Okay.
Work.
Now we're going to do subject.
All right.
Now we're going to do our hot comic picks.
Okay. What have you guys been reading?
Well,
everything.
Sandman number 2 finally came out. It was a few months late, but you know what?
Good.
Worth the wait. Worth the wait. The art in this bitch is just like incredible. J.H. Williams. I mean, come on. This shit's crazy. Get on board. Oh, and I love the Sandman cat. There's a Sandman cat in the end.
Sandman cat's awesome.
And Sandman cat doesn't like being told what to do even by the universe, and that he walks by himself.
Total cat.
It was so cute. It was just really fun. It was so good. And I love this page, where you have like this dark lady and she's all fat and cute and her little dark hair. I love it. I don't know. You don't see enough nude oversized ladies in comics, and it was
there you go.
Really
That's
nice.
Another thing I'll say. DC killing it with Vertigo.
Yeah,
love the Vertigo imprint.
The Vertigo imprint really good.
is amazing.
I know. It's just
I don't say anything good about DC. There it is.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
The Vertigo imprint
exactly.
is amazing.
It's like the Vertigo stuff's great. It's just like DC's just they're having some
Yeah.
problems with some management stuff, and they just need some young blood in there, and they don't have it yet. But also we have Silver Surfer #1 with Dan Slott writing, and you have Michael Allred doing the artwork. Again, Michael Allred's always a treat.
Look at that.
Especially this is like E for everyone art, It's like, I know that there's a lot of like superhero stuff that has all this like art that turns off girls, but Not saying this is for girls, but it's like, I don't know, as a girl, I like it.
I love it.
I love it. I think it's like so much fun. I can't wait to see what happens.
I'm going to slip in my little, this is my Doctor Who for this week. Dan Slott has admittedly always been a big Doctor Who fan. Mm-hmm. And this has all the makings of him being able to write a Doctor Who comic. Because the Silver Surfer can go anywhere through all of time and space. Yeah. Always has a companion with him. Mm-hmm. Anything could happen. Mm-hmm. Whovians, pick this up. Yeah. Seriously. Yeah. As I break stuff.
We have Miracle Man #4, still killing it. Still learning more. And everyone's like, you're not even to the crazy shit. So I can't even imagine. I'm really excited. But I'm continuing to pick up the Marvel Man. Goodness. I like the Big Ben character. Was really sad.
That was really cool.
Really fucking sad. Holy shit. Ghost Rider. We have #1 and #2 here that have come out.
Strode team.
Oh my! Well, is the writer the same writer?
I can't remember if it's the same writer.
Because I know I mean, I know it's the artist. I don't think that's the same writer.
I don't think it's because it's Kot, K-O-T, who was the original. I'm gonna screw that up. Someone correct me on that.
Well,
that's okay.
Well, we know the artist at least is doing it. Amazing. Oh my god! It's just like look at all this. Look at all this, and it's set in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. And as a Los Angeles resident, I love seeing like the little cameos of like cholos and stuff like that. And it's like, hey, I know that guy.
It's actually pretty accurate.
It's pretty accurate. Like, it's pretty awesome. And it's like Ghost Rider has a fucking sweet ass Charger and shit now, or whatever.
It's not like, the motorcycle. And by the way, there's still Johnny Blaze doing his thing, and he's with Thunderbolts. Don't laugh at me. That title is still in the literature right now.
I'm laughing at you.
And I like this because the title is highlighting that it's violent. Yeah. So if you're a Luther Strode person and you're like, oh, they're gonna dumb down the blood and the guts and the gore. No, not so much.
Not so much. And they got flaming tires. You have a mentally challenged brother that's really cute.
I love that relationship with them.
Oh man, it's just this is something that I'm really excited about.
Yes, each Ghost Rider issue right now is going to take you about 3 minutes and 45 seconds to read.
Yeah.
But you're immediately gonna reread it.
Yeah, it's just the fantastic art alone. It's just fun to go back and look at all of it. It's just I just really enjoy watching artists grow, and Tradd Moore is just really leaps and bounds. I'm just so proud of him.
So good. Oh, I should have had this ready to go. But all new X-Men #25 came out.
Yeah, it's got some really cool like different art all throughout it. Like
yeah, it's kind of a get everyone caught up sort of thing because it's going to lead into the next big Marvel event, which I think is called Original Sin, starring the Watcher. But really quickly, I just want to touch on this because I want everyone to get really up on this. Because it's different artists doing stuff. It's Paul Dini doing Jean Grey, and I just couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it.
There's so much good stuff. Like I was flipping through it. I haven't read this one, but it's like I was flipping through. I was like, oh, it's art.
Pick it up just for the art. Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The X-Men are always doing it. Well, Kirk, what are you excited about? You got some
Secret Avengers is back to form.
Back to form?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The new team came on. I wasn't really a big fan of the Spencer stuff.
Yeah, right.
I've always been in love with Secret Avengers with everyone who had different ideas and takes on it.
Yeah. What's MODOK up to?
MODOK's a Secret Avenger.
I love it.
Wait, hold on 1 second. MODOK's awesome. MODOK is egotistical. And,
yes.
This is one of the best parts.
We
gotta get it? Gotta get it?
Yeah.
Clap for MODOK.
I'll clap for
That's
you, MODOK.
That's an actual panel. Clap for MODOK.
That's so cute. I love you, MODOK.
MODOK is a Secret Avenger.
Never change.
Oh, and then we have Nick Fury Jr., which, yes, he's starting to grow on me. And Agent Coulson, they're on the team.
So, okay. So, is this Nick Fury Jr.? Or is this Nick Fury
Jr. is totally the Sam Jackson archetype.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, okay.
And we did find out he is Nick Fury's son.
Yes.
And then Agent Coulson is on this team.
Oh, okay.
And this is the issue that totally solidifies the fact that they are totally bros.
Nice. I like it.
So I like the bromance going on with those two.
So we got,
and also it's got Hawkeye, who they keep insisting is not a Secret Avenger, but he's still there.
He's still like
for the missions. There. And I mean, I really just want something to be said for the art because it really does bring in the David AJA. I don't know how to pronounce his name. There you go. Who's through the Matt Fraction title.
Yeah.
It's very reminiscent of that stuff, and they utilize it great.
Yeah.
It's like a really good pulp crime comic.
I like seeing that Marvel is really kind of taking some chances with some new art styles lately.
I'm glad you said that because there's another title I want to highlight later that's going to totally talk about that. You nailed it.
Real Heroes.
Real Heroes by Brian Hitch. This is the first time he's come out, and there we go. Perfect. Thank you. Brian Hitch. This is his first title that he's also written.
Yeah.
And Hitch, his art is fantastic, and you remember him from when he and Millar did the first Ultimates run so long ago. And his art is very cinematic. Like, I mean, he can storyboard shit, and you just ink and color it and go.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see what's going to happen with it.
May not be.
But it's definitely Galaxy Quest meets the Avengers.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if maybe he needed a co-writer or co-scripter on this.
Well, there's a lot of artists that need co-writers.
So I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited about the premise.
It's so hard to find someone who can do both.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like most really good writers can't draw. So why, if you can draw, I don't know. It's
I need to see where it's going to go. But there are like 2 different parts in the first issue where I was a little kind of taken aback by like, wait, where did this person come from?
Yeah.
Where's the page?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a train wreck. It's awesome.
Right.
But like I said, I need to see it. See where it's going to go.
I've been waiting for the trade and for this to just finish up with the trade because I just want to read it all in one pass. But I'm sure this is awesome.
It's awesome. Every issue does not. There's no status quo for the series. We've only got 3 issues to go, and every 1 or 2 issues, there's this new big reveal.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
Because now we're in the future. Yeah. And we've got the crazy mer monsters, and they're huge in size now.
Right.
And something happened in this issue where you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And it's been like that every 2 issues.
Nice.
So I love it.
Nice.
Secret Avenger. Uncanny Avengers. This is why I wanted Amy here today. I want to talk about Uncanny Avengers with Amy. We'll wait.
Aw, Amy.
But definitely pick it up. That's Remender, and I wish it was... the story that Remender is telling is so big in that series that... Now I understand why it's not affecting the rest of the universe. Mm-hmm. It's just, the story's huge.
Yeah.
Other writers couldn't be able to write it in. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like, oh, this could go great. Oh, this could go terrible.
But I mean, the other thing is with Remender, don't touch his shit. Let him do his thing.
Yeah.
Caliban, Garth Ennis. I know a lot of people give Garth Ennis a lot of flack recently because he's ultra violent, and sometimes that comes off as juvenile. Personally, it lends really well. This is the first issue out dealing with horror sci-fi.
Nice.
Space sci-fi. Space horror.
So it's like a Event Horizon type situation?
A little bit.
Okay.
And I love it. So when his violence and bloodiness happens in that story, it actually, I turned a page and I was like, holy shit.
Did any woman get raped in this?
Nope.
Nobody got raped.
No one got raped.
Okay, well I'm in.
All right,
that's the thing about Enos. It's like, man, it's so much rape. It just bums me out sometimes, man.
There was nothing rapey about this issue.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Good for him.
Moon Knight.
Still doing it.
Anything by Warren Ellis.
I'm definitely gonna pick up the trade of this.
This yes.
The art looks so good, and I was flipping through it. I was like, oh my gosh, this looks so good. And it's like he's got the Egyptian tie-in, and it's like, oh, I want to I don't know. You're getting me into this Moon Knight thing.
He's talking about the Khonshu, and I don't think the Khonshu is actually gonna play that hard into it.
Right.
Remember I told you the first issue he was a badass pimp in a suit?
Yeah.
Well, he's still a badass pimp with cool toys, but now he's got the costume.
I like his cool new costume too. I like this panel too where it's like his cape is huge.
It's huge. I love it. It's so beautiful.
I love it. It looks cool.
This is the other reason why I want you guys to buy this. One, Warren Ellis doesn't write superhero comics a whole lot anymore.
Yeah.
So when he does, it means he's found something that actually interests him.
Yeah. They have something to say.
Yeah. Buy all the Moon Knight so that we can keep him writing
all the Moon Knight. All of it. Well, maybe I'll go buy the issues then. I won't even wait for the trade because I want it to keep coming out.
Ultimate Spider-Man number 200, kind of signifying the end because they're going to start up Ultimate Miles Morales Spider-Man number 1 again because Ultimate Universe is going through a big thing.
Yeah, I know. What's going on with the Ultimate Universe? Because I thought that
Kitty Pryde saved everybody.
But I thought they were doing it to get rid of continuity stuff and
it's
Galactus
every 3 or 4 years they start over.
Yeah.
It's still the same universe.
Okay.
Brian Michael Bendis bringing in both casts from the Peter Parker that he killed off and Miles Morales and his new cast. And everyone kind of knows each other. And it was a really nice, cool ode to the Peter that he wrote for 10 years. I'm not going to lie. There was a couple parts in the title that I got a little choked up on. Because I liked that for a really long time. When Bendis was writing Ultimate Spider-Man and they weren't sure what they were going to do yet, in the regular Marvel Spider-Man universe, his Ultimate was the best Spider-Man being written. And I kind of from issue 1 to when they killed him off, I was there for every issue. So I kind of was a little emotionally attached to that.
Yeah.
Go pick that up. It's really cool.
Lumberjanes. That was something Amy Dallin was going to talk about.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, she said she was going to talk about Lumberjanes.
We'll save it. If you like
Adventure
Time stuff,
yeah,
great title. Pick it up.
Yeah. And would you say that it's good for like
everybody,
younger people,
young teens? Definitely kind of if you're a girl, you'll like it.
Yeah.
I'm a dude. I liked it.
Yeah.
I'm really
for everybody.
I think it's really cute.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
All new Ultimates, Cloak and Dagger.
Yes. This is why you need to pick up this title. It's a lot of fun. Jessica Jones, who is the clone of the dead Peter. Also, you've got Cloak and Dagger. The way they're writing Cloak and Dagger in this is fantastic. And now with all new Ultimates, that means we get Cloak and Dagger on a monthly basis.
Mm-hmm. Now, whatever. Okay, so this is Ultimate, so this doesn't tie into Spider Island nonsense that went on. But I thought that they switched powers or some weird shit.
In the 616, they did.
Now, have they done anything with that since?
Nope.
It's like, why not?
I don't know.
It's just kill it, because I was looking at this, I was like, no, they're not. This is Ultimates.
But this is awesome Cloak and Dagger, though.
Yeah.
This is cool. I'm really excited for this.
I think that they're really underutilized.
I think that's why I'm really excited for that title.
Yeah.
Pick that up.
Yeah.
And the first title's really great.
Dude.
And it's Kitty Pryde and Jessica Jones, so if your comics need more Kitty, that's it.
You need more Kitty in your life.
You need more Kitty. Everything needs more Kitty. All new Dupe.
All new Dupe.
Wait, what? Dupe got his own comic?
Dupe got his own title!
Yes.
Finally! Now, if Mudbug can ever get
Yeah, I know.
We're so close. It's Milligan, LaFuente, and Allred, and the art is awesome.
The art is so much fun. I was looking through it. I was like really ogling it.
And it really is, like cool Dupe doing cool things, just being super cute. And I don't want to spoil it. I'm not going to do a spoiler on this one. Obviously. I loved it. I'm really excited for what they're possibly going to do.
Well, what's the premise?
Oh, by the way, he kind of loves Kitty.
Oh, he does?
Kind of loves Kitty.
Aww.
Loves Kitty.
But he's messing around with Warbird sometimes.
Well, Dupe messes around with everybody.
He does.
He's really good.
He does. Men, women,
everything.
whatever,
Does he
whoever.
have genitals? I mean, he's not wearing pants.
Nobody knows.
The funny thing is the only person who could understand him was Wolverine.
Yeah.
And Wolverine sought him out hardcore to be a part of the Jean Grey school.
Right.
To the point where Dupe was running Wolverine through hoops and doing horrible things.
Yeah.
Until he finally was like, oh, okay, I'll join up.
Yeah.
Whatever Dupe is, Wolverine recognizes that he's the fucking man.
Yeah. If Wolverine, because like Wolverine did a thing, Dupe made him dress up like Cyclops.
And then stick
his
claws
in his own face to do an impression of Cyclops with 10-inch claws in his face. And like, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. So.
And Warbird looks forward to it all the time.
Oh, man. I know. I love her.
Nightcrawler #1, spinning out of Amazing X-Men because they brought back Nightcrawler, in case you didn't figure that out yet.
Yeah.
I don't want to bad talk this.
You didn't like it?
No. Chris Claremont gave me some of my favorite X-Men stories growing up.
Absolutely. No, that guy is like single. I mean, he is the reason the X-Men are as big as they are.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That said, if you're a Claremont fan, this title is totally for you.
Right. But old school Claremont.
Old school Claremont. And it's interesting because it's old school Claremont writing the new X team. Mm-hmm. Writing the kids from the Jean Grey school.
Yeah.
So it's him dealing with Evie and Kid Omega. And so I am not bad-mouthing it. I think it's very interesting they went with Claremont for the Nightcrawler solo series. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Especially with like everything that Jason Aaron and the other authors doing right now. Mm-hmm. So
well, if you're into some old school flavor, check that one out. But if you're into some new school
flavor,
so like
if it's old school flavor without the crappy '90s hype, sorry T-Bone, that's totally for you. Iron Fist, amazing. You want to talk about taking like chances with art? Everything in this is really methodically mapped out, and it almost looks like old pulp art.
Ooh, I like that.
And a lot of the pages look like they're weathered, or they're kind of taken from maybe a comic that was written 10, 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. It is really great. There's some perspectives here, a little bit more on the more mature side, but it is very cool, and
super neat.
It's definitely Danny Rand. if you ever told me that Danny Rand, Iron Fist, could like have his own title, this is very cool. I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, I've never really gotten into the Iron Fist stuff.
No,
you know, so it's.
But what they're doing with, I mean, come on, he's fighting ninjas.
Yeah.
With his Iron Fist.
What more do you need?
What more do you need?
What
That's
more
a
do you
comic book, guys. I feel like I'm rambling right now. I kind of am.
Well,
I'll get that.
What about Batman Eternal? You said you might be
Batman Eternal.
Something.
You open up this thing and it blows you right away. Like here it is. Gotham's in fucking. This was the first page of the first issue. Gotham is in fucking flames. Bruce Wayne is tied up to the broken bat signal.
Oh, no.
He's got a bat emblem carved into his chest.
Whoa.
For you ladies, there's Arrow.
Whoa.
That's Roy. Actually, that's Roy Harper. There you go, guys.
There's his abs.
Enjoy. So,
there's a lot
ladies.
Is there a lot of abs in that?
A lot of abs going on.
Yeah.
And that looks amazing. And you're like, holy fuck, how are they going to tell this story? And I totally bought it because Scott Snyder's name is on it. James Tynion's on it. Ray Fox, who does really great stories, his name is on it. And I'm in the line. I'm like really excited to read this. Mm-hmm. And someone said, "Ooh, Batman Eternal #1. It's gonna be great." It comes out weekly.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
I feel like I just got suckered into something.
Yeah, maybe you did.
What are you implying?
Well, it's like if something comes out weekly, you just don't have enough time to make it as good as it needs to be.
Yeah.
Because putting stuff out monthly is hard enough. Putting something out weekly is like fucking crazy.
There's inconsistencies when you have that many authors working
yeah,
on a story.
yeah, and then you have
even if they wrote something ahead of time.
I don't know. I mean, let's put it this way. It happened when they did 52. When they did the 52 miniseries, or not series, but long series, when it was a new issue every week. Mm-hmm. And you're dealing with like a lot of the fringe DC universe. Mm-hmm. It should have been there, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Like you have too many writers. You have too many.
You just can't get shit out that fast. I mean, it's even if you do write 6 months ahead of time, it's like you still have to do that for a regular comic. You know, it's
no,
like,
I don't doubt you. I just want you to clarify for the people.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, making a comic is really fucking hard.
Yeah.
So then there's like a million people it has to go through. I mean, you have to have your writer, and then the editor has to approve that, and then it goes. You know, then you get the pencils, and then you have the inks, and then you have the colorist, and then you have the letterist, and you know, and
not
it's
that
like
it's impossible, but it's just unlikely. Is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's just unlikely to keep something weekly that's really solid.
It's hard to have something very consistent when you have too many fingers in the pie.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's what I'm afraid what's going to happen.
And have you read the Captain America omnibus? Have you read all the Brubaker Captain America stuff?
Not all the Brubaker stuff.
Okay,
Let's talk about the Captain America omnibus.
Do it.
Well, I mean, I haven't read the whole thing either, but I've read
most of it.
A big chunk of it, you know, because I read the big main Winter Soldier part.
Right.
And that was really awesome. What did you? Let me hear your thoughts about it, because I know that you're more.
Captain America, Ed Brubaker brought his noir sensibilities to that story, and that's what I really liked about it.
Yes.
Captain America hadn't really touched on the whole spy espionage thing until you brought in Winter Soldier, and the explanation for, like you were saying earlier, the explanation for Winter Soldier and why he is the age that he is is really cool. Where you were describing it to me, and that's why I went, oh, no wonder he's the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
I mean, you might as well just
put him on ice.
Yeah. So essentially, they only bring him out to do his mission, and then they freeze him up again. Yeah. So he didn't have like a weird version of the serum that Rogers got.
Yeah. Although they say in the movie that Zola was experimenting on him, so we may have something.
They even showed that in the first film.
Yeah. So it's like there's something going on with him, but it's not like Steve Rogers.
Right.
You know, it's not like to that level. But.
Right. But it was like, oh, okay, so they freeze him, and then they only bring him out when they need him to pull the mission, and they freeze him up again.
Yeah.
That part was really cool.
Yeah, and it's, yeah.
And the other thing that Ed Brubaker wanted to do with Captain America was he wanted something where, like, people were rooting for Captain, for the Cap. And I think that's what a lot of people kind of, like, rallied behind when they did that story.
Well, I like in this one that, like, you know, he's having like his memories aren't matching up, you know, and he's like, what the fuck is going on, you know, and like the cosmic cube is in play, so that's what's like messing with his memories and how he can't trust himself, and he's reliving these memories from World War II and trying to figure out what's real and what isn't. So I mean, it kind of has that similar thing in the movie where he's like doesn't know who to trust, you know, but in this one it's more psychological, like he doesn't know if he can trust himself more than like he doesn't know if he can trust SHIELD, but it's really interesting. I really enjoyed it. And like you said, it does have that noir, you know, I don't want to say darker, but I mean, it's it's not.
I
what
know
you
it sounds dumb, but when you say spy versus spy, do you kind of get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's got spy stuff going
I have
on.
a question. What all elements? How close was the movie to the comic? Half?
No.
Less than half? More than half?
Less than half. I would say just the parts about the Winter Soldier.
Okay.
But it definitely
Kind of.
hit the right points when it did borrow from the series.
Yes. It
Okay.
took the right things from it. But yeah.
It didn't
but
needlessly throw them like around or away.
But the movie's definitely its
Yeah.
own story. Like
Okay.
it's its own story. But they took the best parts.
But there was a
of this.
blueprint. It came from here.
Yeah.
I'm
And
guessing
they.
that there's no poke at the NSA inside of that.
No.
No. There's none of that in there. Yeah. It's more just like. I don't
But
know.
I heard that they did the idea of Hydra being hidden within Shield was in there.
Well, maybe it is, and I haven't gotten to that part yet because
Okay.
I'm still like I'm
So okay.
not all the way through because it's rather.
Well, it wasn't in the Winter
Extensive.
Soldier book.
Thick.
By the way, let's
If-
talk about how beautiful this
It may have
thing
been an
was.
Ed Ruger
Oh,
book.
I know. I mean, it's like.
This is an awesome, beautiful hardcore edition.
Although that's not what the.
hard copy edition, I should say.
Yeah, and I took
Hardcore
off the
edition
sleeve.
would allude to other things.
She
Sorry.
hates book sleeves.
I don't like book sleeves. They're slippery, and they just. Get
And
in
you're
your
trying
way.
to keep that in good condition while it's
I
trying
know,
to protect the book. You're like, why?
It's fine. Yeah, exactly. It's stupid, and it just gets fingerprints on it. So, but this is great.
That's
Actually,
awesome.
a fan sent this to me. I can't remember who sent it, but thank
I
you.
did not know that.
Thank
That's
you,
awesome.
whoever sent it. I'm putting it to good use. So, I'm using your gifts. So there you go. But what else is on the docket? Do you want to do your bonus, George Bush?
Oh yeah, sure. This is completely
Superfluous?
frivolous.
It's cute.
It's
I think it's
cute.
cute. I think you brought up some really good points that
Yeah.
need mentioned.
And this is all tongue in cheek stuff, okay? So don't take this shit too seriously.
Oh.
If you're still listening at this point, like we're just talking out of our asses now.
Really.
So
Speaking of which, if you made it this far,
Exactly.
I'm getting a lot of flack right now from friends on Twitter that are like, "Why don't you talk more about DC?" Tell me what I should be reading.
exactly.
I mean it. Tell me what I should be reading.
Well, you
I
just
quit.
did pick a DC book right
I
there.
did. But I quit Constantine. I quit Justice League Dark. Do they get good again? Ollie doesn't even have his mustache anymore in Green Arrow. Is Green Arrow good again? Like, someone tell me what I should be reading.
yeah, it's the Vertigo
I wanna
stuff
know.
is really
Vertigo is amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
But I need to know, like,
I know, I mean,
what story arc in the last.
I hate defending against dumb ideas, but we have nothing against DC.
And I was just telling you, I'm really excited. Scott Lobdell is going to take over
Oh yeah,
Red Hood again.
Red Hood again, which was awesome.
I loved his run.
Which he should have never. I mean, I know that they put him on other things, but he was doing so good with that title. You know
know what to
It
do
was
with those characters.
Yeah, he was having so much fun with it.
So I'll start picking that up again.
Yeah. We'll
But-
see how. Yeah.
But you do read DC.
John Romita Jr. is going to start doing Superman. I'm going to read that.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, what in the DC universe
Yeah.
should I be picking up?
Did you read Superman Unchained?
I fell off after issue 3.
I fell off after issue 3 too. I was like, eh.
Yeah, who knows? You guys could end up loving DC in a year.
It
I
could.
could.
There
I
could
would
be
love
better books
to.
there.
I would love to. It's not like I don't want to read DC. I would love to read good DC. In fact, I'm waiting for Grant Morrison's Wonder Woman thing. That's what I'm looking
Are they
forward
going
to.
to do that?
Supposedly, I mean, he keeps bringing it up.
Because Brian Azzarello's run was really good. There you go.
Yeah, I didn't.
Azzarello on Wonder Woman was awesome.
That's what I hear. I didn't read it. I don't know. I'm sure it's good. I don't know. I want to hear Grant. I want to see Grant Morrison's fucking. You know what I'm saying? It's like it doesn't matter what Azzarello does because I'm gonna love what Morrison does. So it's like, what's the point of getting into that character if I'm
Right.
just gonna, I'm gonna jump
Right.
ship. You know, it's.
100 Bullets is starting up again? Oh, wait, that's not.
So George Bush.
Okay, so
Bear with us on
here's
this
a
one.
completely
This will be
off
good.
topic. Around the net, I don't know, segment we can do. Is that is that copyright
Yeah.
G4 TV?
Sure.
It's defunct. I guess we can steal it now.
Yeah.
I just thought this was really interesting that George Bush has become an artist now.
Yeah, he
and
paints in
he's-
his spare
This is
time.
W, by the
doing-
way.
W.
paintings.
George W.
Yes, the George Bush in photos.
Yeah.
I just think that whatever your personal opinions of George Bush are, we're gonna put that to the side. But I think this is adorable.
If you,
I think it's really cute that he is.
If you can ignore everything else,
yeah.
this is fucking cute.
This is really cute.
It is. I mean,
Yeah, no,
the
I get
guy, a lot of the world does dislike him heavily. Let's say,
Yeah.
hates him. Even.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure he feels bad about that. But
Yeah, that kind of sucks when everybody hates you.
right.
Like,
but I can see that. I see his pain in his artwork.
You see his pain.
Yes.
Yeah.
In this picture of him painting, like, you know.
Well, it just looks like he's like, how did my life end up like this? I just wanted to paint dogs, you know.
I know. This guy was bred for politics.
Yeah, before we just jump into this,
he didn't have a choice.
Yeah, there's a little story behind this. He wasn't an artist at all, and he started doing this after his presidency was up.
Yeah. Yeah, he's never painted before.
He was taking private lessons, and they said, like, he started like everybody else. He was drawing stick figures. Yeah. And I think it's really interesting that, and Tyson had this really great theory. Mm-hmm. This guy who was, from the get-go, born and bred and readied for politics.
Yeah.
What if this was his true calling?
What if this was it? What if he just wanted to be an artist?
How weird would that be?
And he looks so happy. He looks genuinely happy there. You know, when he was on TV all the time.
Well, he wouldn't have painted dozens and dozens of pictures if he didn't enjoy it.
Right.
Yeah.
And like I said, I do mixed media. I'm horrible at drawing and creating something from scratch myself. These guys are awesome. But I mean, I can't do this. So if you're telling me that from someone who has never done anything before in his life, and just in a few years, I mean,
there's
cultivating a talent.
There's really good stuff going on, and I'm like, I know how to critique
they're
art.
Not good, but they're not terrible.
Right.
There's
for
promise.
a non-artist.
Yeah,
these are good.
For an older man too, it's like, you know how hard it is to learn something new when you're friggin' older. Like, I'm sure it's like terrible. Like, I don't know, you're
the fact
you're
that
scared
he actually sits
and
down and dedicates time to doing it is pretty remarkable.
Pull these up because I thought you had some really interesting things.
I wanted to move on to these. These are the deepest
ones. These are the ones.
I haven't read anything anybody else has said about this, but I think that these pictures say a lot about a man.
Yeah.
I mean, he chose to paint a picture of himself in the shower, staring at his own reflection, which, I mean, he got the reflection off that the mirror should be over here technically.
Well, his head is looking not even in that direction, but that's fine, whatever.
Right.
But there's some subtext going on here. What do you think this guy feels if he paints something like this?
Yeah. Well, it's like, I think it's interesting that he's looking at himself in the mirror before he gets in the shower. Like, he's not clean yet. You know, he's not cleaning himself off yet.
Oh, I like that interpretation.
He's looking at himself before, you know, and he's seeing how dirty he is and what he's done, you know, and like how he feels about it. And like, I don't know. I think there's a lot of stuff going on there. I
mean, like, I think something about this is just very...
Just
maybe just that time in the shower and the bath is the only time he gets to be himself.
Yeah.
Before everything else, before the criticism, before he has to leave the house. Yeah. He's just like.
Well, the thing is,
to be frank, these pictures do not say that I'm not ashamed of myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's like, I think it's really interesting too that like you just how every single person, I think, can say that they've done the same thing where they just are in the tub and they're looking at their feet.
That's it.
You know, and it's just like, I'm just a man. I'm just a person in a tub looking at their feet.
Or I'm completely wrong, and it's just, being president was really hard.
You know what? This is the thing. People.
I still think these are powerful images. I mean,
oh, absolutely.
I think they're really powerful images.
I would hang it in my house.
Give me shit for it. Give me shit for it. I don't care.
But that's what's fascinating about this. You can look at these and think, what did they mean? What was this guy thinking when he painted these?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fascinating.
We've all been there.
Well, the thing is like people
people
like to dismiss things. And they're like, oh, whatever, you know. But it's like, no, this guy didn't sit down and paint. You don't sit down and paint something for no reason. You may not know the reason when you're doing it, but you always are drawing or painting for a reason to get something out.
Well, I mean,
you know, that's what art is for.
This is escapism into the opposite of whatever you've had to think about. You've been forced to think about.
Yeah,
it's like, I'm gonna think about dogs.
I just like little dogs. I just like painting little dogs. It makes me happy. Like little dogs make me happy. And
it's got a landscape here, you know.
Yeah, and that's not a bad landscape.
This is where I want to go. I want to escape all you assholes.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang out by this
tree. You know what? Everything is peace and solitude.
Yeah.
Everything is peace and solitude.
Well, right. I mean, you could say that while you're the president or something, this is the only place I can escape.
Yeah.
In the shower.
Yeah. Well, that is like the only time you have really to yourself. I mean, you know, I don't.
That's just the overhead.
I don't know if you know.
Did you do this? Did you do a?
No, that's someone being stupid.
There's a lot of people making fun of this, I'm sure, on the internet. You know, this Putin one's not very good. Is that who that is?
Well, I guess he was doing a lot of world leader stuff.
Yeah, some of them were really good though.
Yeah, and I guess he was getting shit because he was using Google Images.
So?
To recreate some of the pictures.
Oh yeah, like no artist has ever used Google Images to find reference before.
You've never used a reference picture
like
ever.
No one's ever like, oh, fuck you, get out of here.
Yeah, but I mean, I think
it's like, so what is he gonna ask? He's gonna ask Putin to come sit for him. Is that what he's gonna do? What do you want him to fucking do?
Oh God,
like,
I would love to be there for that.
You know, it's like, come on.
Anyway, I mean, like I said, we don't have any political statement about this. We just think it's fascinating, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. Is that fair to say?
I think it's very fascinating, and like I said, it is kind of. I've always kind of felt bad for him. I don't know, in a way. I don't know.
I think more people should become artists. I mean, even if you're not good at
everyone should be an artist.
Yeah, everyone should create something. I mean, and even like baking is an art form. I mean, it's like there's so many different ways, so many artistic things.
I totally get when these people like. Dude, one day I discovered cooking.
Yeah,
I love to cook.
Well,
I'm like,
I've been learning how to cook, and I've been discovering cooking, and it's really interesting. And it is an art form, and it is hard, and you have to do it a lot, and you learn a lot of stuff, and you get better and better.
And
you know?
To this day, my friend Chris, who, I'm going to talk about my friend Chris on the show really quickly, and he's going to never see this because he is not a nerd in any way, shape, or form. But I knew him because he was, we were drinking buddies, and then he was also the bouncer at the pub I used to go to. Mm-hmm. And, knuckles tattooed, everything. You would have never known by this guy that he was a cordon bleu trained chef, and to this day, his food is still the best I've ever had.
Yeah.
And it's like, out of nowhere, this guy like has this passion for cooking.
Yeah.
He says he still wakes up in the middle of the night with an idea for a recipe and has to reach over for his book and write it down. And I'm like, that's fucking awesome.
That's so
you
cool.
would never.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. There's something for everybody to do, and I don't know. I think cooking, honestly, like, okay, I have a major problem with our school systems, and I think they're totally defunct and retarded, and that we need to like totally redo the whole thing. And I think that one of the things that everybody needs to do every single fucking year is how to cook and fucking clean and do things in your life that you need to do, because everybody needs to learn how to do that. Okay, you don't need to just take one home ec class one time and da-da-da. Like, that's a fucking human skill, because everybody eats every single fucking day.
There's lots of things schools don't teach people that they should.
I know, but that's what
I guess
I'm saying.
like some
one
schools started like actually teaching like, by the way, this is how you do your fucking taxes, because we never taught you how to do this before.
I know. I'd rather
you need that.
Like, I would rather do that than algebra 2.
Thank you.
Like, I don't need algebra 2 or algebra 2. I don't need that shit.
Or teaching you how to not get in debt for your whole life.
Well,
they're trying to teach people like the fundamental basics of how credit works.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, those are classes.
Well, yeah, they should tell you how to be a person. Like, I mean, they don't even teach you, like, the thing that, like, one thing that struck me in Stupid Dune was, like, the first thing that Paul ever learned was how to learn, you know? And it's
there
like,
you go.
And the thing is like, they don't even teach you.
Dune is so good. I've never read it. You keep telling me things about it.
It's so, every fucking page is chock full of crazy shit in there. It's, like, insane. And that's something that I was, like, really thought about, where it's like, I didn't realize until later that there's specific ways that I learn better, and there's specific ways that I don't learn.
Totally.
It's like, you can tell me something all day long, but unless you show it to me, like, I'm a visual fucking person.
I'm visual and repetition.
Yeah.
That's, I mean,
and the thing
don't
is,
ask me
you
how
don't
or
learn
why,
that
but
until it's too late, you know, and then you're, like, screwed, and you're like, well, I wish I'd known that to begin with.
Here's a little story for you. I wish they taught me how credit works. Because when I was a kid, and my first job when I was 14 was a comic shop, and every job I had ever since then was, you got paid cash.
Yeah.
And they took the taxes out because, it was back in the day. And one day, Kirk's at college, and it was like my second week at college.
Yeah.
Which I totally dropped out of, by the way. And
Drop out.
I sold my fucking soul to my first credit card company for a bag of M&Ms. And that's how I got into debt for the first time in my life. And after that, didn't get any more credit cards, had to take care of that debt for a little bit. I'm 30, and like finally took care of my debt a few years ago.
Yeah.
But no one taught me how credit works.
Yeah.
I thought it was just they loaned the money and then you paid it back. Oh no, they make money off the loan.
Yeah,
like a fucking bookie.
Yeah, like absorbent amounts.
Yeah.
Like, and then if you don't pay it on time, then you have more fuddies, and then it's even more money.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
And I was a latchkey kid. My mom was working 2 jobs, so it was just, that's normal.
Well, I mean, Tyson was making me watch some terrible fucking thing about Maxed Out. That's all about credit, and it talks about all these kids who got into debt and they ended up killing themselves because, like,
it's so bad.
Like, because they didn't know, and like, and if, it's like, you never kill yourself over money. That's stupid because money's imaginary. But it's like,
social pressure, the idea that this is so terrible that you're in debt, that you've got to. Your life is over.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, too, it's like they'll come after your family, and like they'll come, it's like that's one thing that sucks.
And they will harass people.
Yeah, no, they will.
They will harass your family and friends.
It's like part of me really wants to just run away to the jungles and just become like a shaman or something, but I can't because then they'll come after my mom for my money for friggin' student loans.
Yeah, but everyone's in debt. the world's in debt. The government's in
I know.
the world are in
Funny
debt.
thing is,
It's so
like,
stupid.
At some point,
It's a
someone was
trap.
telling me
It's
that
an
like the
inevitable
entire world, we're like 26 trillion in debt. It's like, who do we fucking owe money to?
I know.
Venus?
Yeah, Jupiter.
Jupiter? Who are we in debt to?
Nobody. To ourselves.
That's all this. That's how much debt we have.
That's so stupid.
It's just that we're all in debt to somebody else.
We could talk about this forever. Let's not go too far.
Okay, sorry. Might have some personal issues about that. Sorry.
Well, I think we all do.
The one topic I wanted to bring up that I did see a really good show that I forgot to say earlier, Silicon Valley on HBO.
Yeah, the first episode.
Yeah,
I
we
liked it.
watched.
I saw
The pilot, and
Yeah,
man,
it just aired after Game of Thrones the other night.
it was so funny because it just reminded me of so much of the same shit that like we deal with.
Making this show.
Like making the show. It's like it's very similar in a lot of ways. Like going to these big companies and they're like, "Oh, we want to give you nothing for your fucking product." Like you better believe I've already dealt with that.
Because they have the
like,
fake company Huli.
Yeah,
Huli.com.
Huli cracks me the fuck up. And then like going into these companies that are like these .com, you know, like going to like fucking you know, certain internet companies are so much like Huli, you know, we have these fucking crazy people and they're running around Segways and scooters and it's just ridiculous.
Well,
and
I'm stoked about this because of the cast.
yeah.
TJ Miller is actually one of my favorite stand-up
he's
comedians.
so funny.
Oh, I've never heard of stand-up, but I've seen him in a lot of shows and he's really funny.
His stand-up is awesome.
so good in
Also, a lot
Cloverfield.
of people don't realize this. He's the guy holding the camera in Cloverfield.
Yeah, I was looking him up on IMDb and I'm like, shit, he's HUD. Oh.
We got Freaks and Geeks Saloon.
Uh-huh.
And then I can never remember his name.
I know,
Performs over
but
at the
he's
Meltdown
funny.
all the time. Awesome stand-up. And also he was like the best part of, you're going to give me shit for this, but Franklin and Bash, which was the Mark Paul Gosselaar, like Maxim meets lawyers, like TV show.
Oh, I don't know.
It was good for a laugh once in a while.
Yeah.
But he was like the super crazy, allergic to everything, had every single like psychosis, agoraphobic assistant, and he had some of the best parts in the TV show.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, okay, cool.
I was I don't know, I really enjoyed watching this a lot. I didn't really feel like watching it and Tyson just put it on. I was like, and then I ended up really getting into it.
It's actually really good.
And I love the TED Talk guy where he's just like, don't go to
why,
college.
That's why I brought this up because we were talking about debt and stuff, and we have been talking. We've never brought this up on the show, but we're very critical of college. We've grown more and more.
Right.
In the years since we've graduated college, and realized that a lot of people are having the experience of college was nothing but a way to get in extreme debt.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's a way to become a debt slave.
And this show has a character on there that does a TED Talk where he talks about the subject.
Everything that guy says in that TED Talk, I'm like, yep.
Really?
Like I was just like cracking up because it was.
By the way, isn't this Mike Judge?
Yes.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And that's also another reason why it's so good, I'm sure, because that dude like understands the human element and like understands real people and.
But can I get our thing about college out of the way?
Yes. Yeah.
It's like here's the thing. All right, it's the year 2014. All right, when college was invented, they don't have the resources that we have today. All right, we have the internet, which is this unlimited source of information. If you're willing, if you have the motivation, you can self-teach yourself
a lot of stuff,
more things than any college can teach you.
Yeah.
However, there are some benefits to college, and yes, doctors should go to college. I'm not sure that everyone should go to college though anymore.
Well, if you have
the resources could be out there and provided for free to educate our society without everyone having to go to college and spend $100,000 or whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's like, you know, I have a love-hate relationship with my college experience because on the one hand, it got me out of my house into another state where I got to live by myself.
That's cool.
And start my life, and I just loved my college experience, like as far as like the social aspect of it went.
I totally agree.
But as far as what I learned, and the thing about where I went to college is like some majors are really good, and the teachers and the curriculum and everything was top notch. Other ones not so much, and I ended up in the not so much one, and it was just kind of, I don't know, a waste in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And it didn't have to be. It could have been a lot better.
To be fair, you're talking about art school and specifically art school, and I don't know.
But this applies to everything. I mean, every college has a bunch of different majors, and some of them, you know, the people know what they're doing, and then some people, the people who are running it, don't know what they're doing, you know? And like, and if you get the ones that they don't know what they're doing, well, it's like you're just wasting your money.
And a lot of professors are just college students that didn't have a job and they had to become professors.
I know there was a lot of those.
Not necessarily ideal experts in their field, but that's just the real world.
Yeah, it's
There are benefits to college, but I just think a lot of people don't need to be pressured. That's the thing. That's the main point. college is not necessarily all bad, but people shouldn't be pressured by society that you have to go to college anymore.
Well,
and that idea is still out there.
That's actually something that I talked to my grandma about, because she was like, oh, you know, talking about my cousins. She's like, oh, they need to go to college. They need to go to college. Da, 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 da. And it's like, I was like, Grandma, like, they don't know what they want to do. They're just going to waste a bunch of money. Like, you know, they don't need to go to college unless they know what they're going for, and they really need to go for that reason. Because a lot of jobs, if you would do much better if you just got an internship, or if you, you know, just started working in the field and work your way up.
Extremely valuable.
I think we need more trade schools. Like, I've always been a big proponent of trade schools. My college experience was, I hated high school. Yeah. Duh, that's how it turned out the way I am. But high school was such a fucking horrible drag. And if I knew now what I knew then, I really wish that I had dropped out. I wish I'd just done high school, got my GED, and then gone to a community college 2 years earlier than everybody else. Because there was nothing more heartbreaking than realizing that I had to slave away at fucking high school and deal with bullies, deal with bullshit, and deal with fucking horrible advanced classes just to find out that I was going to go to college and take those classes over again and have to pay for them.
Yeah.
Like, that was one of the biggest... I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what exactly led to why I decided to drop out. Yeah. Because after 2 years of community college of reliving high school, the sequel, because it's essentially what it fucking is, I had no more wind in my sails. Like, it's like, why am I doing this?
Yeah, it's really interesting,
you know,
because we have a friend who...
I mean, fundamentally, the higher education system in America is fucked up, but...
Yeah, you know, like the guy in the TED Talk thing, he's like, it's a scam being perpetrated on the middle and lower classes.
Totally.
You know, and it's like, because that's the thing, like, you know, high-powered whatever people, it's all nepotism. It doesn't matter what college you go. I mean, not to say that there aren't people that break out of that mold and whatever, but the possibility of you doing that is very slim. You know, it's not everybody's a huge lottery ticket winner. I mean, I don't know. Like, and you know how many jobs my degree has gotten me?
Do you know how many people have looked at my resume and even cared where I went to college?
Yeah.
Dude, I have so many friends that are in debt now with the degree. Like, yeah, I got it. I got my diploma.
Yeah.
Not anywhere near what they went to school for.
Okay, I mean, we can only speak from personal experiences. Right. But my personal experience was, I went to film school. I wish that money had been saved in just me making some movies on my own.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I would have learned a lot more doing that process. And I know there are some people that are into film that watch our show.
Yeah.
You know, they ask us, what camera do you shoot on? And stuff like that. So that's what I would say. Of course, your parents are paying for your college.
And they don't want to pay for you to make movies.
This is a fantasy scenario, I know. But if you could convince your parents, you know, hey, Mom, Dad, why don't you just save more than half of that money and let me just experiment on my own. With the equipment is out there now in super abundance.
Yeah,
dude.
Use that money to buy equipment.
Could you imagine you're 18 years old and want to go to film school, and someone just looks at you and goes, "No, fuck you. You can do that stuff now."
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
and you can do that back when
you
were
Well,
in
you
college.
could do that.
Well, you could.
Yeah.
But now you can really do it.
Yeah.
Like, we have a 4K camera coming out.
Yeah.
This month.
Fucking dope.
The tools to make a movie are there for anybody.
Yeah.
They're expensive. But as opposed to spending on a
but
college,
not nearly as
buy the
expensive
tools,
as they were.
Practice with it, and if it doesn't work out for you, you could sell the tools and get your money back.
Did you see the Patton Oswalt speech he gave? And he was talking to a bunch of people about like how to succeed and that sort of thing.
No.
And it was really sweet because he's talking to people about he was fortunate and lucky to keep getting work. He was fortunate and lucky. He goes, and he does the greatest thing during his speech. He just lifts up his iPhone and goes, "You have everything you need to do what everyone else is doing online right now, right here."
Yeah.
And it was like one of those really great inspirational, like, you want to work on your bit, you want to work on your comedy, you want to see what jokes are working, record yourself.
It's right there.
Watch it.
Yeah.
See what's wrong with your delivery.
Boop some notes down.
Make little videos with your friends with your fucking phone. Put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Work on your like, it was such a cool, inspirational, like... Don't let those guys say you can't do it anymore, because you totally fucking can.
Well, we have a friend who's an artist, but he's like a self-taught artist, and he knows that we both went to art school, and he was like saying stuff to us one day where we came to realize that he was like...
He's a self-taught artist who started later, I think, in life at art. He hasn't been drawing all the time.
I don't know. Well, ever since I've known him, he's been making art. I mean, since before.
Okay, sorry, I thought that was important.
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure, but... What I do know is that, you know, he feels a little bit like...
Left out. Like he missed something.
Yeah,
like
he's missed some vital information, and that we have this secret information that we got in college, and it's like, not to say that I learned some terms for things and how to correctly talk about things.
About art history that was probably important.
Yeah, but
you hear about different types of art during through.
You couldn't open a book or Google some stuff and find out the same information.
Exactly. But the thing is like he has this like there's this mystique about oh, you went to college and I'm just this self-taught artist. And it's like, dude, you work harder than most college kids I know on your own. It's like you're way ahead of the curve, bro. Like, don't feel like insecure about the fact that you didn't go to art college or something, because it's like it's a joke. Like,
well, to develop a skill at anything, there's that law. I don't know who made it, but the 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard about that thing?
Yeah.
It takes something like 10,000 hours to develop any skill to be really good at it enough.
Yeah.
You have to at least dedicate that amount of time.
10,000 hours.
I might be making.
Which, by the way, anyone that thinks that you're missing on the college experience, trust me, my best Kagers happened after college. Just to let you know that. It's like also like one of the best pieces of advice I ever heard was from Adventure Time, and it was like, dude, the sucking is the first step at being good at something.
Oh yeah, I was right. It's 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
Of practice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's true. Well, that's another misconception. It's just, I don't know, like failure is bad, and it's like you learn from it, and it's like, and it does get frustrating.
Dude, I get
frustrated when we fail. I mean, I get really pissed off sometimes, but at the same time, it's like you just got to keep going, and if you let it stop you, well, then you're not going to get any better. End of story.
End of story.
So start now.
10,000 hours of practice. It seems like a lot, but you just got to hack away at it.
Fucking
and you
do
don't
it.
need college to force you into that 10,000
Well, the thing
hours.
too is like if you really love it, you'll do it. I mean, no one's forced me to draw for 10,000 hours.
Good point.
It's like I did it because I enjoyed it and I wanted. There's something in me that wanted to get better. Because that's the thing. You can't force yourself to do something for 10,000 hours if you don't enjoy it.
Anyway, I think we've gone pretty far.
I really liked that conversation.
I think we, I think that was
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think we helped a few people and we pissed off some others.
I'm sure, as always.
I really hope we pissed off some people tonight.
As
it was
always.
for nothing.
As always. Well, thank you everyone out there on the internets for listening. We had a great time.
It's a lot of fun.
And we'll be back with Plopcast number 20, hopefully in the next week or two.
Okay.
All right.
I feel like we should have like cake or something for Plopcast number 19.
I made brownies.
Fuck you. We're awesome.
And we're out.